That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Well, Drapes is still on vacation. So, Jay, sitting where Drapes usually sits. Is everything okay, Jay? I know you had to come in, and it took you a good 40 minutes to clear out all of Allen's set, lights, and everything. And I got quite a setup here.
I know, man. We must be on the set, quiet on the set.
Yeah.
I came in, Mr. Gleason, and I said, man, things are dim in there. Mm-hmm. Looks a little dimmer than normal. Didn't see the high res lights on, the LEDs.
Yeah.
I looked over at the corner and I saw you, and you kind of had that little, I thought you had a smoker's jacket on there first. Then I looked over and saw Alan, Alan
mood lighting.
Yeah, he had his Hugh Hefner coat on. And I said, boy, it's romantic in that studio right now. Man.
Yeah.
So, I like it.
And we're just working on it. I guess I'm not, but working on a few things here, sprucing up the visuals.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to the digital squad putting the recess lighting out here and the nice photo lighting that we have.
Yeah.
Did you feel any different while you were sitting in there? And
a little nervous. You know how it is. Like you're a little nervous. Like we're on TV right now.
Yes.
With those.
Well, you're used to that.
Those nice 2K Fresnels or whatever they are. I don't know.
Little 4 red camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Camera 3 ready. Take camera 3. Yeah, sure. There we go.
Shot that way. Drapes is good for that. Great. Where's my camera?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Drapes, you know where your camera's at.
He's not going to be crazy about any light that isn't shining on him.
Agreed.
When he comes back.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we put that type of romantic lighting out here for Drapes, first of all, he's going to have to like it and approve it almost.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does it, then he's going to get out. He doesn't, not one piece will he like the whole thing. He's going to be like, oh, no,
right.
I don't like it at all.
Well, today the NBA shed some light, Jay, on the all-rookie team. Let's just run down, if we could, quickly, the all-rookie team and see how many of these guys the Kings could have drafted, but for whatever reason, didn't.
Why are you bringing up old stuff, man?
No, old stuff, it just came out. This is brand new.
I was going to send it to you, and I said, I'm not sending that to Whitey, because Whitey doesn't care about all-rookie team.
Let's just see.
And then soon as we sit down, 3 minutes into the show.
Just see.
All right.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean anything because, sometimes a player's drafted and he's rookie of the year, but then other guys that weren't even all rookie end up being better players. So I understand that, but let's just see. Leading the team, Stephon Castle, rookie of the year, the only unanimous first team selection for the all rookie team. He went fourth, so the Kings had no shot at him.
No shot.
Rest of the first team, Zachary Risache.
No shot.
Who was, he was the first pick. Had no shot at him. Zach Edey went ninth. I know a lot of people around here said the Kings should take Zach Edey.
Yeah.
I know Drapes and I said, no, I don't remember what you said, but they didn't have a shot. He was gone.
I would have took him just based on the length, and I think there was something there. And he he's too big to pass. Like, I didn't see him as a complete bust.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
couldn't take him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You were right in the sense that he went before the Kings could take him. Alex Sarr was first team all rookie with Washington, second pick. Kings didn't have a chance. And then also on the first team, Jalen Wells, who was 39th. Wah, wah.
Sacramento proud of.
Yeah. A lot of teams missed on him, right?
Oh, yeah. Draymond style almost. And it's a good season. He was banged up a little bit, towards the end of it. We'll see how he bounces back. He can shoot that rock, though.
Mm-hmm.
One thing he can do, and we saw it here, he had 8 threes first game. He can shoot that rock.
Yeah. So the Kings, of course, chose 13th. So how about second team all rookie? You had Chicago's Matas Buzelis. He went 11th.
Couldn't get him.
Mm-hmm. Who else? Donovan Clingan of Portland went 7th.
Couldn't get him.
Also, Miami's Kel'el Ware.
Kel'el Ware went 19th. 15th? Man, I felt like it was later.
Washington's Bub Carrington went 14th. Wow.
Yeah.
And then Yves Missy of New Orleans, he went 21st.
Right.
So there were a few misses, but again, Jay, you got to be patient and you got to wait for this to play out before we can start drawing any conclusions on who the better players are.
Well, yeah, Devin Carter's rookie season is an incomplete. You remember when you're at school, Whitey, and you didn't, and I'll just say like something like this. You go to college, you're a Gator, of course, put it up, San Francisco State, and you go through the class, and for whatever reason, let's just say you get the chicken pox, the measles, the mumps, the flu, and all of a sudden you can't finish the final. More times than not, the professor's going to give you that INC, that incomplete.
Right.
Come back and see me when you're ready to go. Now, if you have an a-hole type professor, they may give you an F. You have to go fight it. More times than not, they're going to give you an incomplete because you haven't completely finished everything that has been available to you. And for me, that's Devin Carter. We don't really know what he is. Some of those guys who are on that first and second team, especially on the second team, I think Devin Carter's better than. My eyes tell me he's better than some of those guys. Now, he didn't play, a shortened or truncated season like you would like to say. He played a truncated season. And so, unfortunately, he has an incomplete.
I think, by the way, every time I hear incomplete, I think Jalen Hurts, but that's a whole different thing. I think the good news for him is that he fits what Doug's trying to put together in terms of being a defensive player.
Right.
So, if you're drafted by a team and then they change everything, it's like, wow, I don't know if I'm going to fit in here. I don't pretend to know for sure how they feel about him, but I think he's probably pretty good shape here. I just got to back up some. You mentioned chicken pox.
Yeah.
I got chicken pox when I was 30-something years old.
I've never had them.
Oh,
I've never had them.
I had cancer. Chicken pox at age 32 was way worse. It was.
They say the older you get, the worse.
In some ways, it was way worse.
Yeah, I've never had them.
Yeah.
My body is strong
Good for you.
when it comes to that. And I remember as a child, my mom took me around, cousins and stuff to get it out the way.
Yeah.
Never had it. And then it got to the point where it's like, all right, look, you got the vaccination of chicken pox, which I believe we all have to get. I'm not 100% sure. And I don't want to go down the political road, but I think to get into school, it's part of it.
Oh.
Could be wrong. Be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things I never had. I've never, come around, and I guess
it's
enough
no
people.
Bueno. Yeah.
I know, but 32 or 33?
32, something like that. Yeah. And I thought, well, I got it. I just got to wait it out. And, if the curtains were just like barely open, like, it's too bright. So I was in there just like laying there, couldn't do anything for days. Finally went to the doctor and he goes, tell me, what are you doing? We got pills I could have given you.
Right. Come on, Whitey.
We got antivirals I could have given you right away.
Whitey, like, this ain't 1915. You didn't have to wait it out like when you were a child, man.
I know. When's the covered wagon bringing supplies, Paul? Like, yeah, we could have given you this. You should be getting better here real soon. So.
Man. Ramsey, you ever had chicken pox?
I have. And I also wanted to speak to something else when you were talking about college and if you can't finish a semester.
Yeah.
Personally, my first year when I went to Arizona State, my appendix burst like a week after my birthday. So
Happy
the whole
HBD.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, recovered gratefully enough. Yeah. But I had to go through not just incomplete. I completed the courses, but the professors were understanding enough. They allowed me to complete it over the summer, and I took care of it, and they gave me favorable grades on those courses that I unfortunately, due to health reasons, missed.
Do you know, did they have to go in and then remove what was left of it, or?
All I know is I was in there for 2 weeks, and I think my appendix wasn't in the right spot. It was according to family, highly traumatic, and I don't remember. All I remember is riding my bike to the clinic, and then I rode my bike from the clinic to the hospital that same day.
Wow.
And then they checked me in. Next thing I know, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
We're off to a rousing start.
We are. We are. Yes. Let me tell you here, not that we don't want to continue talking about internal organ structuring and things. Yeah. Give you my 3 wishes for the conference finals. May I? Conference finals tip.
Already?
Real quick. Yeah. Can I
got a Whitey's wish list early in the.
It's only 3. Yeah. My 3 wishes. Whitey's wish list. Conference finals. 1. And I don't think you feel this way, Jay, but so nothing personal. I want the Knicks to be annihilated. I'm sick of the whole New York thing and Stephen A's Knicks homerism and, just the whole idea that it's from the Mecca of basketball, New York. I understand that. Like I told you, my dad used to love listening to games there. I'm already sick of the Knicks. I want them out. ASAP. Gone. I want them to be humbled, humiliated.
Dang.
By the Pacers.
Those are my pick to win it all.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
2, I want the West to go 7 to soften the cushion of no games before the finals start. Because if these conference finals are quick, they would end around if there's a sweeps, they could be ending like the 25th or 26th, and I don't think the finals start till June 5th.
I'm about to say the first week of June.
Yeah, I don't want that long waiting around and listen to all the same stories over and over and over. And then 3rd and finally, I don't want injury to play a part in the results. I don't want anybody losing because somebody pulls a hamstring or breaks a foot. That we've had too much of that already. The 4 teams left, they've all maintained their health for the most part, and I hope they're still able to.
I like it. I love number 3 for sure. I'd rather see the best of the best play.
Yeah.
Work out their way to the championship. Number 2, it doesn't matter. It's summertime, Whitey. It's things to do, brother.
I
Get
like
out, shake a little bit. Hit an A's game. Hit an A's game, Whitey.
Who?
Okay, I'm just. There's things to do. There's concerts. There's people to see. Go get you some ice cream. Take the missus out. Hit handles. Leatherbees. Friends of the show.
And take it home and watch the
Gunther's.
game.
Come on, baby.
Ice cream.
Let's get out. There's things to do.
Basketball's almost over, Jay. Pretty soon it's done, and I just would like as many games as we can.
All right.
And I know we disagree on the Knicks as well.
Yeah. I'm taking the Knicks to win it all.
Don't
bother me.
Yeah. Would you trade your number 3 pick for this? That's next with the Drive Guys. It's Jay and Whitey, Ramsey, and his ruptured appendix. But he's okay, we think. Although some say he has never been the same.
I'm good.
That and more next on Sacktown Sports.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the 2nd largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Cause I'm really from out and out. 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 East out, west out, north out, like Mary got the.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We were just talking about NBA basketball and internal organs. Is there a way to talk about both at the same time? I can do that.
Okay. What you got?
Do you remember Randy Foye?
Yes.
Okay.
Point guard.
Randy Foye was a guard with, I think he was at the Clippers and Nuggets. He had a condition.
Yeah, definitely Minnesota.
I assume he still has it. Situs inversus. Do you know what that means?
I do not.
Situs inversus means everything in his body is on the opposite side. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. We used to have a guy that was a producer here named Danny Pinto, and we were talking about Randy Foy one time, and he says, my wife's the same way. And so, like, his wife went to see the doctor, when she was a kid, and there's an x-ray, and the doctor puts the x-ray up, and he looks at it, and he flips it, and the mom says, nope, you had it right the first time.
What?
Yeah, it's a rare condition.
What's it called? Something
Situs
inversus.
inversus.
Situs
Yeah,
inversus.
everything is a mirror image flipped around.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Randy Foy had that. Again, I don't think it matters.
Right. Health-wise.
There must be some reason why they're where they are, but if you flip
Situs inversus.
Yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Is there anything in this world that surprises you anymore?
Yes. How stupid people are.
Okay.
Continues to surprise me.
Good point. Man.
Just continues to just amaze me.
That's
a whole different thing, you know?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That's very much
true. Yeah. I think this is stupid, for example. Speaking of people, not necessarily stupid people, but people doing stupid things. I think there's a big difference. Jay.
Definitely is
I know a lot of smart people, but they still do stupid things. You're smart. Why are you doing something so stupid?
I do stupid things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I did once. Jonathan Gavoni and Jeremy Wu reporting, and we've talked about this the last few days. Some teams believe the 76ers could try to package the number 3 pick with Paul George to acquire another star to join their core, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. All right? Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we've heard different versions of this from various sources.
Right.
So that would be the Sixers with the 3 pick, want to swap that with Paul George to try to get a player to put them over the top. According to this report from Gavoni and Wu, 2 potential targets could be Kevin Durant and Larry Markkinen.
Mm-hmm.
Would you really want to trade the number 3 pick and Paul George for Larry Markkinen?
No, not me.
Thank you.
Not
okay.
at all,
I didn't. When I saw that, I was like, that's not smart.
I wouldn't want to trade it for Kevin Durant either.
I wouldn't either, and I love Kevin Durant.
Right. Yeah, I'm a huge Kevin Durant
8
fan.
years ago.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we're talking about timing.
Mhm.
Timing.
Yeah.
Father Time is undefeated there, Mr. Gleason.
Yes,
So, yeah,
yes.
I'm out on KD, and I'm not saying Philadelphia isn't a ready-made team to compete for a championship. I believe they are, hence why they're hunting and pecking. If you win a championship, then the old saying says, everything is worth it because you got the championship, but that's a lot. That's a lot to ask for KD to come in, stay healthy. Everybody to stay healthy when we've seen, Embiid and Maxey have some issues health-wise.
Right. Yeah. The whole thing is just, closing their eyes and crossing their fingers and holding their breath and hoping Embiid's okay. I hope he is too, but I wouldn't want to be in their situation.
And let me say this real fast, Whitey, before you move on.
Take your time.
Let me go on record.
We're here 4 hours.
I think Ace Bailey's going to be the best player out of this draft. I truly do. I think he will be the best player. I think he is borderline T-Mac.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you qualify?
I don't know if he's going to be able to shoot it like T-Mac, but I think he's super athletic. He's got to work on his handle a little bit. T-Mac definitely had worked on his handle as he got a little older, but I really like Ace Bailey. I truly think he's going to be a beast.
Yeah, there are mocks all over the place, but to your point here, Tankathon, they have Flag 1, Harper 2, Ace Bailey 3rd. So that may be the player that we're talking about. Yeah,
Which is everyone
Which
says
I know that's why you say
it's a four-man draft. And from there, and this is the other part about it, Whitey. We'll get Jeremy Wu on. Love Jeremy. He's a good dude. Gavoni, I'm not a lot of people like him, but I think there's some other guys that I prefer to listen to. But he's been around the draft for a long time. Love Kristen Peak. She does a great job over at Yahoo. We'll get a couple of these guys. Raphael Barlow, no ceilings. I believe we didn't have him on last year because he was going through some health things, but we'll have a few of these guys on. Unfortunately, the Kings aren't hunting and pecking for anyone in the draft at the moment. So around here, there's really no oomph when it comes for the draft, right?
Yeah, I hope and think possibly there will be if the Kings, if they look at this and there's somebody they really like, if they're able to trade back into the first round. I'm sure they're looking at that.
Sure.
I have no idea whether they'll be able to. We know that they talked to Jeremiah Fears because Jeremiah Fears says, I talked to them. Right now in this particular mock, he's up to 5th.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's high for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be one of those guys that kind of probably can go from 5 to 25. Depending on who you talk to, huh?
Mm-hmm. There's another name that came up here relative to the Kings.
Okay.
There's another mock, and I apologize. I forget where I saw this mock. Well, anyway, there's a lot of different mocks. And they have the Tankathon has this guy going 2 spots before the Kings pick, so he should be right around where they're going to pick if they stay at 42. Bogoljub Markovic. Okay?
Point guard.
Bogoljub Markovic. 6'11", power forward from Serbia. Can shoot the ball, Jay.
Shouts out to Bogo.
That's it.
Is that
I think he goes by Bogey.
Bogey?
Yeah,
Another Bogey?
Another Bogey.
Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went down the rabbit hole and started looking at his clips today and everything. He's like, this guy's great. He's probably going to be gone if he's anywhere near as good as his clips make him look like he is. He'll probably be gone by the time.
Where is he playing, if you don't mind me asking right now?
He's playing for KK Mega Basket, international ball, Serbia.
All right.
Yeah.
Familiar with the league over there?
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. I got the league pass.
Fran Fraschilla?
He averaged, about 17 points. He can shoot. He shot the 3-ball well, and he made his free throws.
How's the stock? How does he look? Is he slender? Is he Tony Kukoc? Or is he more Jokic?
Well, 6'11", 190. So he's a little on the thinner side.
A little more Kukoc.
Yeah. He's got
Sasha
some room to grow.
Vezenkov.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren type.
Yeah. And I don't know, perhaps internationally they tend to inflate the weight, like they do on height.
Course,
so he might be like
$178,
157 or something. I don't know. But just a name to keep in mind. I know a couple weeks ago we looked at a couple guys the Kings might take at 42, and we were getting messages from people that said, this is depressing. So I don't want to say he's the guy, but I think there are some interesting options. And then maybe I'm still hoping the Kings will maybe trade up, Jay.
Well, that's it. Once we see the move be made, then we can start to have these discussions. Prior to that, Whitey, there's really nothing else to talk about, minus the fact of we're hoping, wishing, praying on a move to be made. Now, once that move is made, and it may take until draft day, who's to say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Scott Perry, BJ Armstrong, Paul Johnson, guys like that, Coach Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson, all the assistant coaches over that way, they will definitely work out everybody that they believe, could be around the area where they might be targeted.
Yeah.
Scott Perry is no fool. No doubt about it. He's put out a couple of fillers throughout the league to say, what is it going to take to get to that back half or maybe the lottery? I don't know where he's shooting for, but believe me, if they are looking for someone in the draft, we'll start to hear some names. And that's why you brought up the Jeremiah Fear situation.
Yeah. Also, if they do stay at 42 and they want to get a good look at guys that might go there, this is kind of an obvious point, but you'd have to bring in a whole bunch of guys.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to invite
36.
them. Doesn't mean they'll come because there's so many variables. At 42, you don't even know who's going to be there.
Yeah, you got to bring in half the draft.
Yeah.
At the back end, that's normally when you see 6-7 guys come in a day. 6-7 guys come in, it's just waves.
Yeah.
Here comes 7 guys on a Tuesday, bringing another 6 guys on Friday. Next Monday, we're bringing another 7 guys. You'll see that type of movement when it comes to the Kings. And that lets me know they're looking for someone, a diamond in the rough.
When Bogey comes, I'm going. I'm watching.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember 2 weeks ago?
Bogo, what's the last name? Bogoljub
Markovic.
Okay.
I believe the emphasis is on the Markovic.
I might have to reach out to a couple of my Euro basket guys, see if they want to come on and break him down for you.
Yes.
Sounds like you got your pupil on it.
I do. You got my guy. You remember when the Kings had last week or the week before, they had some players come through and Darian Williams, right, was a name that people were talking about. I read yesterday in The Athletic, Hollinger said Darian Williams did not have a good combine and may have to go back to school just to drive up his draft stock.
Well, he's not and I think I remember saying this, he's not an athletic specimen, meaning he's not going to jump out the gym. He doesn't play above the rim. He's not super fast. He is a below the rim shooter but can control the game. He's a good passer. You can definitely tell he has some veteran leadership. You can definitely tell he's vocal. You can definitely tell that he is a high IQ type guy. But as far as throw it up, he's not that type of person. You know, he's going to be able to make the solid pass. I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough of him, Whitey, to see if he can make the spectacular pass.
Yeah.
You
so
know,
that's a guy.
Just really a solid prospect.
Great floor games.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was telling my brother when I had a terrible game. What'd you do? How many points you score? 2, but I had a great floor game. But don't you think a guy like that, when he's in a showcase situation, he's got to play well?
Yes, sir.
He's got to really show. If
Sure.
he plays poorly, it's like everyone's going to be out on him.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think he's not a measurement guy. He's a basketball player. I think when you get him in the game, that's when you're going to see the best of him, meaning Darren Williams. But outside of that, you know, cone drill, 40s and 60s, up and down, free throw line, he's not going to ace none of those type of tests. Or at least I don't believe in. He might jump out there and, you know, lose 20 pounds and float down the court for all we know.
Getting back to the Sixers here in that third pick, according to this piece, some teams expect the Sixers to be active in trade conversations with names like Durant and Markkanen as potential targets and packages that could include Paul George in the number 3 pick. Daryl Morey has made a career being active and aggressive on the trade front, but historically it's rare to see a top 3 pick being traded. Maybe Morey is just trying to, you know, stir it up here and see what kind of offers he gets for 3.
Oh, no doubt about that. He's a wheeler and dealer. Philadelphia is in a position where they have some good talent. They have some great talent. And no doubt they have championship expectations, hence why they went and got Paul George. They're in the middle in the form of, can you trust Embiid long enough to pair him with a Durant? And maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe we know that Knee's only going to give him 2-3 more top flight years, and we better go try Kevin Durant, and then we'll reset it with Max or somebody after that.
What does that tell you? That already they're like, yeah, we'll give you the 3 pick and Paul George after they just brought him in.
Yeah.
He had a terrible year for them.
They did.
He was hurt a lot. Yeah. He was not what they were hoping for.
Could Embiid ever be on the trade market?
Who would take him? You know?
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in Embiid?
No, it's just for
At
me,
all.
too much risk.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm too risk averse. Bringing in a guy, giving him all that money, and then, you know, he can't play. I hope he's healthy someday. You know, Kawhi was relatively healthy. Who knows? When we come back, the good news and the bad news for the ATH next on Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by San Francisco 49ers. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's a beautiful day today for this Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine, less north wind to go around, and temperatures this afternoon will peak in the low 90s. Expect clear skies overnight and dropping back to the mid 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
San Francisco 49ers 2025 single game tickets are now on sale. Join the faithful at Levi Stadium. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets. That's 49ers.com/tickets.
Power Up Series brought to you by Swiffer Power Mop. Using a mop and bucket is not the only way to get your floors clean. There's a quicker way. Kick the bucket with the Swiffer Power Mop. It has built-in solution that breaks down dirt and grime, and a pad with 300+ scrubbing strips that absorb and lock sticky messes. Brought to you by the Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one cleaning tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. Mop smarter with the Swiffer Power Mop.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Typically, a high handicapper carries an index of 20 or more. Golf Monthly's Barry Plummer offers 4 tips if you're tired of that high handicap. First, choose the right equipment. Invest in a 5-wood, which is more forgiving than a 3-wood or 3 hybrid. It's a much better option for getting the ball in the air. Second, play for bogey on par 5s. Break the longer holes into manageable chunks, perhaps aiming to hit the green with 4 easy swings while also navigating away from the trouble along the way. 3, leave the sand wedge in the bag for chipping. Up and down percentages are almost twice as good when chipping a 9-iron over a sand wedge, and 3.5 times better with the putter. And finally, stop leaving your putts short. A 20 handicapper leaves 55% of their missed putts short of the hole. Give yourself a chance with every attempt and don't leave another putt short. Try these simple tips and let's see whether your handicap starts to come down. And have some fun out there. That'll help too. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Jay and Waddy today, Drive Guys. Ramsey keeping us on the air, and so far he has done that. Thank you, Ramsey. The A's, though, Jay, need to get back on the winning track, and they were unable to last night. They've lost now. So you lose a couple of Yankees, Dodgers, and you lose 3 straight. They've lost 6 in a row. The ATH have lost 6 straight, so they've fallen into a tie, a virtual tie, at the bottom of the AL West with the Angels. At least they have a chance to do something about that the next 3 games when the Halos will still be in West Sacramento.
Yeah, but it's this, for me, it's to be expected. This team isn't making the playoffs, you know, in first place for the AL West.
But tell me you didn't hear that from a lot of people.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't?
I did not.
I heard it from some people around.
Really?
I'm talking about around here.
Really?
Yeah.
That they were making the
playoff team. Yeah, this is a playoff team.
Yeah, no. If they're lucky, blessed to sneak into the playoffs, it's by the hair on the chin for sure. They're not blowing anybody out. This team is very young. This team lacks heavy arms when it comes to the power race.
Yeah,
especially in the starting rotation. And I've said it and I'll say it again. And I know I can't remember. I believe Mark called in. Shouts out to Mark if you're listening. And I hope it's Mark. I remember Mark said, I just don't trust their power. I definitely don't trust their patience. We'll see. You know, if they get lucky and win 75, then it's a
That'd
great
probably
year.
be a pretty good year.
Yeah, 80, man, you barking up the proper tree. This
80,
team
it's
is 2-3 years
Kotze's
away.
Statue. If they win 80, Kotze gets a statue on
Where
top
at,
of the
though?
shed.
Okay, I was gonna say, where you gonna put it at?
Right on top of the shed.
It might have to get pulled down in a few years. Put it up there like one of them little rooster things on a barn.
Yeah. So they're struggling, and that's baseball. That's the way baseball works.
And when you're not good,
well,
you're average. How about that?
And as someone that was at the game last night, the bullpen actually kept him in the game because the bullpen pitched flawlessly and pitched shutout baseball, but it's the third straight game that they lost by 1 run, and they just couldn't figure out how to get runs across. They had ducks on the pond in the bottom of the 9th inning, and unfortunately, Tyler Soderstrom, who's been struggling, struck out to end the game.
Do what they do.
How old are you, Ramsey?
44.
Ducks on the pond. Do you still say ducks on the pond, Jay?
No, but I know what he means.
I do too, but like my grandfather, my dad used to say that.
Got ducks on the pond. Got geese on the pond, baby.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
it's just
no.
kind of an older term. Yeah.
Bases are juiced.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, men in scoring position.
I love it.
There's traffic on the bases.
Right.
Yeah. There's somebody who's been around baseball for a while. Ducks on the pond. One time we were doing an interview with Ron Darling.
Ooh.
And Phantom said something about dotting somebody. And Ron Darling said, you must be an old-time baseball player. I said, I haven't heard that in a long time. Dotting somebody.
You got to dart somebody,
Yeah. The good news for the A's, speaking of how young they are, we have this, MLB.com. They asked their experts, 34 experts at MLB.com, a number of questions on Rookie of the Year. Who's going to win Rookie of the Year in the American League? Of the 34 experts, 31 said Jacob Wilson. 31 first place votes in this.
He's balling.
Yeah.
He's got pedigree. He's got pedigree. You know what he does that most of the Oakland A's, here we go. Most of the Athletics don't
even
do.
Correct yourself. What's that?
Is he is a contact hitter. The Athletics don't have a lot of those guys. So you see him stand out compared to a lot of the other guys in the lineup.
I think you're right, but I think that's all of baseball. I think there's fewer and fewer.
That much is
guys.
true. That much is true. This
contact guys, Scott's like, yeah,
good luck finding those guys. Yeah.
Like Arise.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, he is definitely a different breed than the A's normally go for, which is super interesting. He's herky-jerky at the plate. Like, he's got a lot of movement going on, you know, and that's cool, but he keeps the hands. Comes from the pedigree. His father played in the league, and I like him, you know, as an infielder. I think he has a bright future. I think he's going to be one of those guys that is around the league for a long time. When you are a contact guy, you normally hit for average. I'm not sure if he's a 300 hitter for his career, but the way he's getting it going right now, I wouldn't doubt it. Now, we'll see as we move forward because we know scouting report, people will start to find your hole, your deficiency. But when you're a contact hitter, you normally can protect those things a little bit better. So that's not surprising.
Yeah,
not
but it's
surprising
great
at all. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
Yeah. This piece was written after Sunday, and it points out that through Sunday, he ranked second with a 337 average among all qualified rookies, tops among rookies in hits and runs and doubles and so on. Last night, he went 2 for 3, so he's now hitting 343.
I'm telling you, man. He does a great job of putting the bat on the ball. And I know that sounds like, come on, Jay, that's baseball. But as we've talked about, that doesn't normally happen these days in the league. The other part about it is he knows when to shorten up that cut.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Preach.
It doesn't matter.
He hit a nice single up.
Oh, absolutely. He'll box something up. He'll go the other way. You know, he won't unleash the full swing where you got a lot of guys. I'll give you someone I just saw, Ellie Dela Cruz. I mean, this dude is barking up the strikeout ladder quick. He's getting ready to surpass. I saw something where he's getting ready to surpass Tony Gwynn's strikeout mark for his career already.
Wow.
And it's not even 500. He's closer. It's like 490, high 400s. I love Ellie Dela Cruz. I think he's a great player. I think he's great for what he does, but he doesn't know when to shorten up.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when to bring the swing down a little bit. Everything is violent. Everything is to hit the ball out the ballpark. It's very long.
Launch angle.
Yeah, he's super long, too long and lanky.
Jacob Wilson also is, as Jay was attesting to, second in the major leagues in hits with 62 hits, only behind Aaron Judge trailing by 9 hits at the beginning of the day with 71 hits so far on the season.
That's pretty impressive. Here's how much things have changed, Jay. Speaking of a rise, in 2022, he led the American League in hitting, 316. The next year, he led National League in hitting, 354. Then last year, he led the National League in hitting again. So 3 straight years, he's led. He's won a batting title, and still he's not widely regarded as an impactful player.
Yeah, when he hit 316 and led the league, I almost fell out.
You got higher standards than that.
Oh, yeah, 316. There's people that laughing at that. 36. Could you imagine if you walked to Wade Boggs and say, man, 316 leads the league? Like, let me play now. Let me figure that out. I don't know. I love baseball, but there are some things that sometimes we get away from that isn't for the best. Isn't for the good. Of course, chicks dig the long ball. We got it. We understand. That was a slogan that baseball pull out. The long ball saved baseball. No doubt about that as well. But there is
steroids saved baseball.
Well, yeah, very much so. I would venture to say, and there's a lot of people who probably argue, I think steroids saved football.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So it just wasn't frowned upon. How many times did you see somebody from the NFL get banned for a substance and it just went away? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's
like I can vaguely remember a lineman with Tampa Bay once, but it's baseball's like, I remember that guy and that guy and that guy when it happened. And yeah.
Dudes out here never going to see the Hall of Fame because they're on a list.
Yeah. One more quick baseball note. Giants lost last night to the Royals 3-1. Bubic was pitching a lefty for the Royals. He lost a no-hitter in the worst possible way.
A bunt?
Scorer's decision.
Oh, man. Where are they playing at that weak ballpark?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Hey, here's the cool part about it. Bubic is from San Jose, so it's even worse. He comes back home, has a no-hitter going, and then he gets Oracle Park on a scorer's decision.
Yeah. There's a ground ball to the right side. You got to see it, Jay. Ground ball to the right side, and the second baseman, Massey's coming over, and he kind of loses his footing, gets a glove on the ball, and he kind of overruns it, and the ball goes through. And they give him after the fact. First they call it error, then later they call it a hit.
They went back and redid it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah. And that was the only hit he gave up?
That was a first hit he gave up. They ended up with 6 hits. So I don't
But if you don't get that hit, you may still be concentration.
Could
buckle
be.
down. I got you.
Could be.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, just another black eye on what is allegedly the greatest organization when you ask people that are Giants fans floating that SF on their hat. Just terrible. What else? Are you surprised?
Not in the least, Jay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Should be a Padre
I would have been surprised if it didn't happen. When we come back, tush push could be shoved right out of the league. The NFL's looking at some rule changes today. We're back with those next.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for that water wheel.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
Looking for fun for the whole family? Sacramento Rivercats Baseball has it all at Sutter Health Park. Enjoy exciting baseball, kids' activities, tasty ballpark treats, and more. Family memories start here. Get your Rivercats baseball tickets at rivercats.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my superhydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Yeah.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
All right, before we get to the tush push dang deal here, we were just talking a moment ago about the scoring decision last night. Bubic for the Royals had a no-hitter going, and then retroactively, a scorekeeper at Oracle decided that a play he'd ruled an error was really a hit. And then it's like, okay, no more no-hitter. And that wasn't the only hit. I don't believe that was the only hit Bubic gave up. So I'm not saying he would have had a no-hitter without that. But still, to me, it was an error. But then you get this, Jay, from the 530. Jason Ross checked with his friend who's a pro umpire, and he said the call was actually a hit, and they got it correct.
Yeah, but an umpire
is not a scorekeeper.
Right, there you go. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I say that's not the same thing.
Come on.
Who was that? Is that someone from the 707?
That's a 530.
Oh, well,
707 knows better. Here I checked with a friend who's a pro umpire.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Right. Where you think they're Yolo County?
I'll tell you what I'll do. 530. And I was trying to find it. I haven't found it yet. Jay gets a look at it. If Jay says, oh, that's a hit, then I will drop it completely. I will say, yeah, I was wrong. It's a hit.
No. You do you, brother.
Oh, you're not going to say it. You're not going to say it. Yeah. But if you do, I will. I won't talk about it anymore.
I got you.
I
got to go find it.
Yeah. I used to be a scorekeeper for, the Greater Vallejo Recreation District, the fast pitch softball, men's softball.
Really?
And I'd go out there and turn the lights on. And then the guys would come out and I'd sit there through the 4 games, scorekeep. I was the official scorekeeper.
Oh, boy.
Then when it was over, turn out the lights, go home and call the newspaper and tell them the results.
Really?
Yes. And I remember guys would complain to me about, hey, how come we can't get any ink? They never write about us. It's like, dude, I'm just a scorekeeper.
Yeah. How do we not put this on your Hall of Fame resume?
I don't know.
Why? How did that exclude?
It kind of slipped my mind,
Yeah,
Jay.
okay. All right.
But I remember I was taught if you're the scorekeeper, the first hit of a game has to be clean.
Clean hit.
Because you don't want someone pitching a one-hitter and then going back and going, gee, I'm not really sure. Maybe he did throw a no-hitter. First hit has to be clean. That's what I've always
Not
been
it's
taught.
an A. It's an E.
Yes.
Can I tell you something? I agree with that. Actually, I could feel that. That's something I've heard but never really paid attention to because I've never score kept like that. Here goes something. And I had this conversation with Ramsey before. I never knew how to score keep until I got until college.
You probably had no one ever showed you how, right?
No, and I was always playing.
Yeah.
So I never knew. And then, of course, you get to college and it's like, oh, freshman, and like, oh, yeah, sit down, champ. Champ, you have a seat.
Yeah.
And then maybe 3/4 through the season, I had wind up actually playing because we had a bunch of guys who got hurt. Maybe a week before I'd start playing, I'm like, all right, look, man, you got to learn how to score keep. And I literally learned how to score keep. Then I didn't score keep forever until, that was the first time I'd ever done it.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Not for me.
I'd
rather be playing.
Well, sure. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for most of it, so we don't have the option of playing. You did. It was like, I got to keep scoring the bench or I could play. Most of us, you go to a pro game or some major league game, minor league game. You don't have the option of, I don't want to keep score. I want to play.
Well, I didn't either, but yeah.
I mean, speaking of scorekeeping, if you turn around, I got my scorebook ready because I'll be at the game tonight. And
I just had not surprised.
It's as I told James, I always say it's my way of locking in and keeping focus at a baseball game.
But I'll bet you got a whole section. You go home and that probably goes. You probably have I don't know if it's a shelf or a drawer where you got like years worth of scorecards.
I don't have that many, but it might start to grow this year, especially with the amount of A's games that I've been to in whatever capacity it is so far this season. So it may start to grow, and it a lot of times now, especially being on this side of the ledger, it's my notes.
Yeah,
it's my notes, especially post game.
Years ago, we went to a game in San Diego against the Pirates, and we knew somebody from the area.
Okay.
Jesse Flores, actually. He worked for the Pirates at the time, and he got us tickets. So we were up in a section. It was at Petco right after it opened, I think. And, pretty good seats. And we figured there's probably baseball people around us because of who we got the tickets from. So we're watching the game, and there's this guy in front of us, and he has sunglasses and a hat, and he's got a scorecard. And, we're just watching the game. My wife nudges me, hey, I think that guy's a scout. And I look at him, and he has like sandals with socks on. And I'm thinking, I don't see it.
Just came from PB.
She goes, no, I think he's a scout. Look, he's keeping score. So I was like, oh, I'll see. So I peek over his shoulder just to see how he's keeping score. And on his scorecard, he has nice hit. Good one. That was a long one. I'm like, hey, he's not a scout. He wasn't even keeping score. He was just writing notes where, you're supposed to have 6'3" or whatever. He's like, wowee, good hit.
That's not keeping score.
Wowee.
Yeah. Hey, not a scout.
Oh, man. Scout, I've never seen a scout keep score.
Yeah, they don't, huh?
I've never seen a scout ever keep score.
Because they're like everything's going on upstairs.
Right.
I have seen like NBA. Sometimes we sit by NBA scouts and they got laptops with like
it's serious.
Incredible programs on there with offenses and stuff that
Definitely
they can diagram things with it's incredible.
It is. You look at some of those guys sit down, and I mean there is a plethora of guys that are an organization has nowadays. We have the legendary Jerry Runners. It's like, look, I had 2 assistants. They got 2 assistants, within a foot of each other now. There's so many people on the team's organization, and when you see friends and family and scouting area, and they literally go up 6 rows sometime, and you see somebody and you see them with a laptop and you're like, oh, they're scouting for somebody. You walk up and you have a conversation, and I'm pretty sure you see them sometimes down in the media area. Like, what is he doing here? Former player, and you look like, oh, who you? I mean, I'm working for the Nets. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm scouting, the Kings and this team because we're playing them within the next month or so. It's super interesting to see that.
I can remember, unless I imagine this, years ago at Arco 2, they used to have us at the table. It was like the extended scores table or something right by the bench. And I remember there was a guy sitting like 2 seats down from me, It's like, what's he doing here? It's, he might want to get into coaching. He's scouting. It's like, oh, okay. It was Rudy Tomjanovic.
Oh, yeah.
Who, of course, went on to win back-to-back championships as a coach of the Rockets. But he started out, I believe, he's, doing some scouting.
Man, you'll be surprised who are scouts these days. Sometimes I run into them at the game, and it's just random. Just a random ball player that you can remember 15 years ago. Or what does that person do? What are they doing here? And it's Memphis versus the Kings. And they played for Seattle or they played for Miami. What are they doing here? And then I walk up, hey, such and such. What are you doing, man? Scouting for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What you looking at? Oh, we got Memphis coming up here next week. And I was close to the West Coast, just came from LA. So I just came up here and get a little scouting in. Okay. That's pretty interesting. I see a bunch of guys like that, former players, coaches, stuff like that, on a regular down at the G1C. Just surprises me who are scouting, who the player or former player is who scouts for a team, because you forget about it. Like, man, you look and you don't play for them 1 year.
Yeah.
How'd you get a job scouting for them?
Jay, how are you feeling about the tush push? I forget. Are you pro tush push? Are you anti?
I'm pro.
The NFL vote on tush push, I just checked. I don't think we've had the vote yet.
No, it's not.
It could be pretty close. The Packers have changed the wording of the proposed rule. According to ESPN, the Eagles are now downplaying the importance of it, which might suggest they don't expect to win. So they're saying, it's no big deal. But we're anxiously or somewhat curiously awaiting the results here. Here was the rule change, basically. Before, the Packers rule would prohibit pushing a ball carrier at the snap. And then some coaches said, well, does that mean you can't push anybody? Can I push him? Can the guard push this guy? Now the rule reads that it would prohibit pushing, pulling, lifting, or assisting a runner in ways other than blocking the defense. So they clarified it more. And apparently a lot of people look at it and say, ooh, that makes all the difference. And this tush push is in danger of going away. It might get voted out.
Yeah. I don't understand what the big deal of trying to get rid of the tush push is for anyway, because most people can't stop it. So you want to take it out the game. There's a few organizations who are hell-bent on getting out, and the Packers are one of those. But what's wrong with it? I don't really get the big deal about why it's a problem.
To me, it doesn't look great.
Okay.
That's just me personally. I think the league could always say, it's not safe, but they don't really care about that.
I don't do that yet.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this.
Used to be you couldn't do it.
Sure. Let me ask you this then. How about a person who, and I've seen it with the 49ers now, albeit they've ripped off some long runs, but how about when you hand the ball off on 1st and 10 for 15 times in a row? It doesn't look good. No one's crying about that.
1st and 10, 15 times in a row? Well, that's bad football, but the push tush sometimes to me looks like, and that's just because I remember a time when you couldn't do that. So to me, I have that feeling like that's not really football. If they keep it in, I don't really care. If I had a vote, I'd vote it out. But if it stays, I'm okay with it.
There was a point in time you could throw the ball past the line of scrimmage. We ain't talking about that no more.
Tell me about it. You should have heard the Sports Talk show's end. We got a lot of calls on that.
When it happened?
Yes. Forward pass. What is that? That'll be the ruination of the game. So
I'm with it. It doesn't bother me either way if it's in or not, but I'm create something, the Wildcat, whatever you do, create it. And if it's something that someone else can't, stop, then that's on them. I've said this before though. I do think you have to allow the defense to come up with a few other, different ways to coincide how the tush push is getting away with first downs though.
I didn't realize the Eagles run a lot. So does Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Allen. That was the point. Remember in the playoff game, he couldn't get the first down, and then he did get the first down. Oh no, he didn't get the first down.
Right.
The Bills definitely ran it quite a bit.
And he sure did get the first down.
He did get the first down.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We're waiting word on that. I would vote it out if I had a choice. If it stays, I'm not really going to worry about it.
I'm with it. No problem.
When we come back, here's what's coming up here with the drive, guys. This playoff series hasn't started yet. We're already talking about the officials. What is wrong with us? Next on Sacktown Sports.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across our multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get a free quote at ethos.com/win. That's ethos.com/win.
If you love golf but don't want to play the same 18 holes over and over, at Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, you get 27 holes of variety, so every round feels fresh. And with a Premier Club membership, you'll enjoy unlimited golf with a cart, unlimited range use, exclusive discounts, and 2 complimentary guest passes to share the experience. With pristine conditions, a scenic layout, and an award-winning reputation, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. Stop waiting. Become a Premier Club member today at timbercreekgc.com.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, with second baseman Zach Geloff having spent the entire year on the IL, the A's offseason acquisition of Luis Urias as a free agent has turned out to be a shrewd move. As of the end of the last homestand, Urias had started 20 consecutive games at second base, hitting 4 home runs, including a walk-off against the White Sox, and his OPS almost .830. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
On the text line, thank you for weighing in here. It's Drive Guys, it's Jay and Whitey. From the 916, QB sneak okay, tush push not. From the 916, tush push is ugly and very unexciting. Yeah, I'm with them, Jay. I'm with them. Harry, I'm trying to, find common ground. I hate the tush push, and I hope it gets overwhelmingly voted out of football. And one of the reasons is because Draper and his Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles rely on it. Well, that's not fair. I don't care if it's fair or not. I want it out.
That's it.
I want it out of football. Forever.
Are you petitioning? Are you signing? You getting a petition ready now?
I may start one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The owner.
I'll sign it if you want me to.
Even though you're okay with the tush
I'm
push,
all right.
if it hurts the Eagles, you would sign it.
Absolutely.
Jay up here signing it like it's a permission slip for his kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeffrey Lurie, Eagles CEO, calls it a precision play.
Of course he does.
I don't ever remember a play being banned because a single team or a few teams were running it effectively. It's part of what I think most of us love about football. It's a chess match. Let the chess match play out. He's done. That rule's gone. They know it, too. The Eagles know it.
He's
They
done.
can feel it coming.
Yeah,
they know
the pressure
they are
is
gonna
there.
lose this. Teams are voting it out. Is it fair? Probably not. Oh, well.
You don't care.
You got that target on your back when you're the Super Bowl champs.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. 100% is true. I will say this, Whitey. I would love for anything to be detrimental to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank you.
And if the tush push is detrimental to the squad, then yank it out the league.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Anything that's going to bring down the Philadelphia Eagles' success, I'm all for.
Mm-hmm. I'm not for this. You've got the Western Conference Finals tipping off tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Already, the officiating is a topic.
Of course,
they haven't played a game yet, and it's in part because the last time they played, Minnesota actually came from behind and won a game. I believe it was in overtime. It was a huge win. But after the game, Finchie, coach of the Timberwolves, he was complaining about the officiating. And so Mark Dagnall was asked yesterday about Finch complaining about the officiating. The series hasn't started yet.
Well, you know what this is. We had an up close and personal view of the Zen Master.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Jackson.
You're right.
Phil Jackson was a guy that would just automatically dive straight into, these are the issues. Watch my guy, Shaq. Look how they handle Kobe. Look what they do with Derek Fisher. You know, Robert Horry, he was a mastermind. Hence why they call him the Zen Master. Part of that is part of the reason. He was a mastermind after every single game of critiquing the officials in a way that he wouldn't get fined, but he would just shed just a little light on what's going on. That's what this is. This is a cat-mouse game.
Yep. And then Coach Adelman would try to go back at
and
him.
do it. That's right.
But I don't know if he was as good as his
He wasn't. And I was going to say that, Whitey, is I thought that was part of the cat and mouse between the Lakers and the Kings. And to me, that's something Rick Adelman, Hall of Famer, obviously, was deficient at. He wasn't a Jedi mind trick type of guy, and so it's interesting that Phil Jackson could do that and get away with it. And he manipulated. And then, like you said, then Rick would come back and say, no, we, straightforward with it. And Phil say, Shaq is kind of getting touched on the right shoulder a little bit. We might want to stop and look at that. And matter of fact, Whitey, what we're going to do is next game, I think one of the things that we're going to change, I'm going to put Derek Fisher over on the left side of the block and watch how we throw it into the right side of Shaq and watch his shoulder. That was Phil Jackson. That's what they're doing.
You know what I remember about those series? It seemed like the games were really favoring, in terms of the officiating, the home team.
Sure.
It was like a different deal. Shaq, when they were here, he was in foul trouble. Good chance he's going to foul out. Down there, Vlade might not last 4 quarters.
Let alone a half.
Yeah. Yes.
Thunderberg. Pollard, where are you?
But as far as this series goes, Thunder's last regular season meeting against Minnesota was back in February. Minnesota, as I said, they came from 25 down. They beat the Thunder by 3 in overtime. Even though his team won, Chris Finch in the post game was criticizing the officials. It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. They really do. They foul all the time. Then you can't really touch Shea. It's a very frustrating thing, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to play through it. That was after they won. So maybe he had an idea. We might play them again in the playoffs, set the tone for it then. I don't like talking about the officiating anyway, but to talk about it before the series starts, it's discouraging too.
Understandable, but that's the way of the world. That's the way of the league. And we've been talking about officiating every step of the way of the playoffs. Maybe not so much as here in Sacramento because the Kings aren't in the playoffs, but we've had a few conversations, Whitey. Drapes have tackled the topic of, foul and officiating, letting them play. It's a little rough. And it started last year, but we know it's something that the NBA and fans have kept an eye on. And, I understand. It's the posture. You do anything you possibly can to win a game.
Oh, yeah.
Cheating, people are, cheating and sportsmanship and all. Fooey, man. Listen, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You're trying to win a championship. We're down to the last 4. If I got to jump out there every single day at every single press conference to talk about the officiating, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I get that. This is an interesting subplot to this series. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander playing against Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Alexander is a common familial deal. They're cousins. So
really, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really,
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I had no clue.
Yes, they are cousins.
So Neil Alexander-Walker is from Canada too, or no?
I don't know.
Okay,
he most definitely is.
I'm have to look that up.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely is. Thank you, Ramsey. Yeah, so I think OKC is going to win that series, Jay. What do you think? I think OKC is going to win that series, and I don't think it's going to be very long, Jay. What do you think?
Ooh, where you edging to? 5, 6?
5 or 6.
I could see 5. Yeah, I could see 5. I think OKC wins it too. I think they too high powered. We'll see how it goes. Minnesota, for me, they're going to need a couple of guys to really show up. Nas Reed is going to have to play a huge role in this. Julius Randle, he's going to have to continue to keep balling, and he has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually think Mike Conley's going to have to show up a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to need an Alexander Walker. You're going to need, someone that a DiVincenzo, somebody who's going to have a good couple of games too, 2 or 3 games for the series.
Yeah, they're OKC. That is, will probably see a lot of zone. Denver played a lot of zone on them,
right?
And they struggled with that a little bit. I think Minnesota did too. So it's the NBA. A lot of it's going to come down to making shots. But I just think OKC has a little more depth. And for all the talk of the playoff experience, Minnesota doesn't have a ton. And I think going through a 7-game series to beat Denver, I think that counts as playoff experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I think they're growing in that regard before our very eyes.
I agree with that. Yeah. And this may be one of those windows where you don't necessarily have to struggle to get to the championship. They've done it quickly, but I think a lot of their growing pains have been the fact of they're so young. And I think this is what you're getting to, Whitey. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They're so young that they're growing every step of the way. Through the season, they've grown.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen through the playoffs, they're grown. And through Denver, of course, being a part of the playoffs, they've definitely grown. So I'm with you. I think they have a shot. Their window is right now. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I think the key is how Mark Daigneault handles it. Because in my opinion, you see this in different sports through the years. I remember, you might have been too young for this, but going back to the 90s, Mike Hargrove, when he managed the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, the Indians.
The Indians.
They called them Indians at the time.
Yeah.
And they were an underperforming team. They got to World Series a couple times. They never won.
94, 95, or 95,
Yeah, they
96,
lost to the Braves,
mm-hmm.
and then they lost 97. They lost to the Marlins.
Yeah.
And I always thought one of the reasons is because that guy, he was wound tight as a drum. He was, and I think it held his team back. I think teams take some of their approach to the game from their coaches, and they know if the coach is in over his head a little bit, if the coach is a little nervous, I think it affects a team's confidence. If you got a guy like the Zen Masters, like he was cool as they come, maybe inside, who knows, but what he presented to his team was calm, right? Yeah, and I think that makes a big difference, especially for a young team. And we'll see. I think in the game 1 loss against Denver, I thought Daigneault made some mistakes, and I thought he looked a little flustered. Having not been through that, I think it affected his team. So I think that'll be one of the keys to the series. But I think, like I said, having gone through a 7-game series against Denver, I think he's learned a lot, and I think they're in great shape. And I think they're going to win the whole thing, Jay. The whole thing.
I could see
the whole thing.
I could see it. They have the talent to win the whole thing. I think if there is anything for me, it's the shooting. How can they get out the slumps? There's some times where they definitely go ice cold. And another part about it too, for me, is can all the youngsters come together for majority of the games? You got 7 games to win 4. We saw Jay Will struggle in 2 or 3 games, and then he went crazy in 2 or 3 other games.
Mm-hmm.
Can enough of those guys put 4 games together within the 7 to win the necessary games that they need? Another thing for me with them is I do believe they need 1 more year of seasoning. I think they need to get punched in the mouth. I'm not sure. I don't think Minnesota's going to do it. I think Ant is going to play a part in it. I think he will punch a few people in the mouth.
Plays well. He could punch.
He can definitely do it. Absolutely. It definitely depends on his series, but that's why I'm leaning towards the Knicks, because I think the Knicks, every single game, even if you beat us, we're gonna as they say, we're gonna make you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Pacers are getting ready to learn that, and I believe whoever they see in the Western Conference is gonna learn that too.
I think the Pacers are tougher than they used to be.
Agreed.
They actually, not to get bogged down in numbers, but defensive rating, they were actually 1 spot better than the Knicks. And I think we think of the Knicks as, I always think of them, under Thibodeau, a really tough defensive team. And they were not a great defensive team this year.
No.
At times, we've seen it in the playoffs, they're capable of that. And Hart is a very good defender, and Anunoby. But as a team, they were not a great defensive team this year. Indiana was a lot better than we tend to think of them being defensive.
No, definitely. They were. Yeah, they definitely were. But we've seen it. Playoff, intensity is a little different. And another thing I think that helps the Knicks too is we talked about him yesterday. Mitchell Robinson was pretty much gone, alleviated for most of this season. I think he brings a little different speed to what the Pacers are getting ready to see when it comes to the length and athleticism. I don't know if they're going to match up. Like, they got Miles Turner. The rest of those guys, I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be able to do with Mitchell when it comes to just having an attitude. Now, defending him, Mitchell's not a high caliber scorer, but we'll see.
But he's effective. He does a lot of things.
He definitely is. Draymond style.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll look at a new mock that has the Kings grabbing a very interesting player next on Sacktown Sports.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Lowe's knows how to bring the heat with Memorial Day savings. Right now, select paint, primer, and stains, or buy one, get one 50% off via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets for just $20. Shop these Memorial Day deals before they're gone. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Annuals offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We'll get back to the Kings and the upcoming NBA draft, but Jay, Ramsey, dear listener, we still have people pushing back on the tush push here in the chateau from Kings Fan Dan. My issue with the tush push is, where does it end? Do we want teams to line up 11 guys over 6'8", just push down the field for 3 yards at a time? Nobody wants to watch that, says Kings Fan Dan. From the 916, no tush push. That has a fairly big fantasy football impact on Hurts. That's another good point. Yeah, you don't want to be playing against Hurts in fantasy when you got the tush push.
Man, I don't play fantasy. So
I don't either.
None of us here play fantasy football. I mean, my whole take on this whole tush push, if you can't figure out how to stop it, stop crying about it. Why do we need a rule change? Why do we need a rule change for something no one can virtually stop?
Though? How do you stop it?
That's what defensive coordinators are for.
Yeah, but when you think about it, it's really difficult to stop.
It is, and that's why I say I think you have to, if it is going to be continued to be legal, the league is going to have to open up the availability for the defenders to do different things that right now are illegal. And the first thing that comes to mind is you have to allow linebackers, safeties, to hop over the line and do certain things that they can't do. Now, they're allowed to do certain things, meet the running back, but you can't utilize people to, jump over. Like, you have to do those things. And even if the other part about it is, we've seen defensive tackles, no tackles, DNs get super low, then you need that secondary, meaning the safety or the linebacker, to be able to utilize them as well, kind of slingshot them. Right now, that's a flag.
You know how I think the only way you could stop it, I've seen guys try what you're suggesting, various forms,
and the end
forms, and it's really difficult because once let's say, you're pushing and Ramsey's pushing you, so I'm going to jump over the top. Once I've left my feet, I don't have any leverage on
Sure,
it.
right.
So I think the only way you can do it is we're going to shove back.
And that's the thing. You can't, as a secondary, meaning linebacker or safety, you can't utilize any type of movement from the line without it being a flag. They're going to have to change that. We see the tackles get low, but if you slingshot yourself, that's 10 yards.
Like Frankie Louvu was continuously doing in the NFC Championship game for the
just getting
Commanders.
flag. He was like, I don't care. We're going to figure. But I've seen Fred Warner do it.
Yeah.
He'll slingshot himself and it's been a flag. So you know who also does it, and it kills me because no one calls them out on it. It's the Chiefs. They do it quite a bit too.
Oh, the Chiefs don't get called for anything.
They don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
they got their right tackle is in motion.
Oh man, come on now. Come on. I mean, literally, that hop kick, and Lane Johnson for the Eagles does it quite a bit. And he doesn't get called for it. It kills me with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting away with false start every single down.
Yeah. Snaps on 3, he's allowed to leave at 1.
Right.
Oh, it's in the gather.
Right.
That's not even a football thing.
Right. He's Euro stepping.
Mm-hmm.
He's Euro stepping.
It's going to lose. I can feel it.
Really?
Of course, I've been wrong about Alexis before. But I think the tush push is going to be overturned. It's going to be voted out of football.
It's out of there.
And when Trace is back, we're going to need at least 45 minutes Monday to hear him complaining about, I can't believe they got rid of the tush push. And you and me will be going, and deep down we'll be going, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys will have to punt.
Yeah. You'll have to play actual football. Then let's see how good you are. Jay, we've got some interesting names here in the Kings' various mock drafts. NBA mock draft roundup here. This is by James McCauley, and he has taken the trouble, and bless him for this. He's rounded up a bunch of different mock drafts and who those doing the mock drafts have the Kings taking at 40. We talking about 42? Yeah. Are you interested, or are these like guys that, you know what, I haven't heard of these guys and I don't really care?
Well, it's my job to be interested, but if you're asking Jay personally, hell no.
Real quickly, we'll just run through them quickly then. I mentioned this one. Jonathan Gavoni, ESPN today, has Bogoljub Markovic going to the Kings. 6'11", slim, Reaper type. He can shoot. Yeah, he's been playing. He's only 19. He's
Youngster.
been playing, in Serbia for Mega Superbasket. And there's a chance that he won't last that long. Sports Illustrated has, we've talked about this guy, Chaz Lanier from Tennessee going to the Kings, sharpshooting guard. We have Kevin O'Connor has, how would you say, it's not Joan, it would be Joan Beringer, a center from Cedevito Olympia.
Wow, never heard of.
Jonathan Wasserman, Bleacher Report. Yami Niederhauser, center from Penn State. Ooh. See if you notice anything here as far as a trend. NBA DraftNet staff, Ryan Kalkbrenner, center from Creighton.
Kalkbrenner?
Yeah.
I like Kalkbrenner.
Do you?
7-footer, can shoot. I mean, he played for Doug McDermott's dad for 4 years.
There you go.
He's seasoned. I'd take him as a stretch 4, stretch 5. He reminds me slightly. We like to make comparisons. He's a poor man's version of Brooke Lopez.
Okay, but he can shoot a little bit.
He can definitely shoot.
Ryan Kalkbrenner, the center hub, Stephen Bagel making this. That's the author, not the guy they picked.
Sure.
Milos Uzan, point guard from Houston.
Okay,
I think a lot of people remember him. The Athletic, Sam Vicini says Maxime Reynaud from Stanford, center. I apologize, my French isn't that good.
That's all right.
Tankathon staff says Alex Condon from Florida. And then Swish Theory has Boogie Fland going to the Kings, but I think he's already taken himself out of the.
I think he pulled his.
He just committed. He just committed to Florida this morning.
So he's not going to be in the draft. But it looks like a lot of people, for what it's worth, think the Kings are going big.
Big boy.
A lot of centers are in these mock drafts for the Kings.
Yeah, call me when that happens, and then we'll talk about it. Until then, who knows?
You've got 2 centers right now.
Right.
I wonder if these people are thinking that one of the centers, and I think we know which one it would be, is going to be elsewhere. I don't know.
Or I could see like
4 guys. You know, a lot of those guys trying to be stretch 4 guys.
I was just about to say that. Or if they don't see themselves re-signing Trey Lyles, for example, Brian Kalkbrenner could come in and fill his role.
Yeah, I believe it when I see that. I don't know. One of my things with drafts, when you start to dive that deep, and you talked about it, is who knows where any of these guys are going. The second round, 2 or 3 of those guys might not even be drafted for all we know.
Yeah, according to this piece here, the bigs that are mocked to the Kings are all quite different. Kalkbrenner, massive. They have him here, Ramsey. Massive drop coverage big who enters a draft at 23 years old.
OG.
Yeah.
Exactly.
John Berenger, on the other hand, 18-year-old French prospect who's still growing into his body.
Young gun.
Is extremely mobile. He's a nice guy.
He's a
Bogolyub Markovic, teenage stretch big out of the Adriatic League.
Ooh.
So Alex Condon represents an attempt to capture what the Kings currently have at the center position. I just don't see why the Kings, they want length at the 4. A stretch 4 would be a nice addition, but as far as the center position goes, that's one thing they actually are set with.
Yeah, I think
they decide
so.
to make a big move.
Yeah, and they would definitely have to spend some of those guys to be a stretch 4, or maybe, and this is something that we've talked about before, maybe on paper you push Domas over to the 4 and these guys fill out to be the 5.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're getting picked in the second round, more or less, unless you come in and have a tremendous camp, unless you come in and showcase something that people have missed, a la Brock Purdy, you're coming off the pine. So it's going to take a little more time to really decipher if you are a stretch 4, 5, backup, starter.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to have to bring it to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few Draymond Greens out there. It takes guys from the second round a little time, a couple of seasons, 2-3 seasons to kind of figure out like, oh, this dude's a little bit better. You don't really start as a second round draft pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And I know the thing with second rounders, we just don't have a lot of other things we can talk about with the Kings right now other than just idle speculation. But I get it. Some of these names, like, I don't know who those guys are. I mean, Colby Jones was a second round pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we hoped good things would happen for him. Maybe they will, but he's not even here anymore. And he didn't play that much when he's here. So I get it. Second rounders.
Well, this is the thing, Whitey, and this is something that Kings fans don't want to hear, is sometimes you have to be patient and wait for a move to be made before you can continue to talk about it. See, one of the problems that NBA fans, sports fans, all around, and it's really not just NBA fans, but all sports fans, sometimes we get caught in the form of something's got to happen. Something needs to happen right now. And if it doesn't, there's problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet on the front because down at the G1C, they ain't even got their whole staff together yet. And guess what? It's still May.
Yeah.
The combine has just started.
They're waiting for other dominoes to fall before they even know what options they have.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So unless there has been a trade that hasn't been reported just yet, I doubt it. We don't know what the Kings are doing. We don't know what they're thinking about, and we don't know what some of the, and we've pointed out 2 or 3 guys that have already turned about face and went back to college. These articles are being written, and every single day, half these prospects aren't even sitting in the draft anymore.
From the 209, we don't need a center, but this is the Kings. Last year, we said there's no way we draft a guard. We drafted a guard. Wouldn't be surprised if the Kings draft a center.
Yeah,
LOL.
but it's not Monty there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Monty there. It's Scott Perry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Monty.
From the 209, Troy Polamalu is the only person who could stop the tush push.
He's one of the guys, but he ain't the only one.
Junior Seau.
Absolutely. There's a bunch of guys who can get it done. They just got to get opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll let you know if anything happens on the tush push today. It might not be till tomorrow. When we come back, Rick Kamla, TV radio podcast host, will preview the NBA conference finals and the finals themselves for us next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. A comfortable start Wednesday, but it'll warm up fast again. Morning temperatures will be in the mid-50s, afternoon highs in the mid-90s with strong sunshine. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot to running the bases every Sunday, there's something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like two sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for that water wheel.
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to Lee'sAirPlumbingandHeating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split in two groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs at set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe one shot with a driver, one with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Live in local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Before we bring our special guest down, we got the conference finals tipping off today. Jay, I know you're going to roll your eyes here because you don't like it when I go way back. What you remember when the Kings were in the conference finals? Remember how exciting that
I'm not
was?
talking about that, Whitey. I'm not talking about that.
But it was exciting.
Time to move on.
I'm not
man.
looking back and like, oh,
Right.
I'm just remembering it was so awesome.
Man, that was back in elementary days, man.
It was a long time ago, I
Come
know.
on now, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we got to get that up. We have to. There's no problem with looking at your history, but man, we can't just latch on to it for everything.
Well, I'm just remembering what it was like and how great it was.
It has nothing against you.
I think, yeah. I mean, maybe 2 more years he'll be back. I don't know. Let's find out. Joining us,
wishful thinking.
TV, radio, podcast host. He hosts the Ethos Fantasy NBA pod. Rick Kamla back with us.
Man.
How are you, Rick?
Fellas, I'm doing great. Sorry, I thought I had mute on. I was looking up a stat real quick. I was trying to figure out, I think I found it right here. May 19th, 2004. May 19th, 2004. Now, that date should have unfortunate and negative reverberations out there in Sacramento, because that is the time at the end of the second round, Game 7, when my guy KG went crazy. Chris Webber missed a 3-ball from the right wing with a chance to tie and force overtime. I was sitting right behind the Sac bench, getting in position for an NBA TV hit at the time. So a little bit of commingled history here. You're reminiscing about conference finals. My Wolfies are back in the conference finals for the second straight year, baby.
See, why do you see what you started? You got Tricky Rick fired up, man. It's goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Rick, let's start right there. You guys are jumping into the Western Conference Finals here against OKC. We know what Ant's bringing to the table. I think we know what Naz Reid is probably going to bring to the table. I think we even know what Mike Conley's bringing to the table, and you might even want to throw in Rudy Gobert. For me, it's Julius Randle. What's your thoughts on who is going to have to be that X factor here for Minnesota?
For me, Rudy Gobert is the X factor for Minnesota. Does OKC find a way to play him off the floor? How essential is he with the Chet, Hartenstein double big look? Can he guard the perimeter? Are they going to, put him in pick and rolls and test his puppies? He had the Herculean game against the Lakers, right? But, we've seen him be played completely out of playoff series before. I know that Naz Reid's a good matchup for OKC. So that also kind of leads to the Gobert X factor thing. Jay, I want to go back to something that you said. That's my oven. Don't worry, my house isn't burning down.
What you cooking, man?
What you cooking? What are we having?
Some chicken wings, actually, and I'm psyched to eat them, dude.
Okay. Does anybody eat pizza rolls anymore? Remember Totino pizza rolls, Jay? Those are awesome. Nobody has those anymore.
I like them, but I'm cutting down on the carbs, man.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
Try not to eat that kind of stuff. But Jay, here's my thing with Ant-Man.
Okay.
And I respect your opinion, man. We go way back. I don't know what I'm going to get from Ant-Man. And here's what I mean by that. Is Ant-Man going to be a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant killer every game? Or is it going to be, okay, we're down 0-1, now I'm going to give you that game? Or we're at home, down 2-1, and in game 4, I'm going to give you that game. To beat OKC and to win the chip, you are going to have to just lock into that mentality and not deviate from it. And when they trap you at half court, okay, when they force you off the ball, when they double team you, my adjustment would be cut. Okay, get off the ball and immediately cut. That's what Steph Curry does. You guys see it out there. I mean, heck, it's one of the best rivalries in the NBA right now. You know all about the reload to Steph Curry. So I would work on the reload game right there. But to me, it's an overall mindset. Ant-Man cannot let the defense dictate to him how it's going to be. And that's the tug of war for me, because we're talking about the best defense in the NBA. They've got a million awesome perimeter defenders. They've got great rim protection and great interior defense. So they're a freaking problem, all right? And so if Ant-Man just lets them dictate the rules of engagement in the majority of games, the Wolves have no shot. Ant-Man's got to go Jordan and Kobe on these guys, go 33, 35, 41, hit for a 50. Otherwise, they're not going to win. I would say the same thing about Brunson against the Pacers, and obviously Brunson complies with that plan at all times. He's got a walking 30-point guy. He figured it out. There's no on-off switch on the killer with Brunson. It's on full time, going back to the Nova days, okay? So that's the progression from Ant-Man that I want to see. It's the number one thing I'm watching for in this series.
Rick Kamla with us. Rick, to that point, were you, as somebody who obviously you're pulling for Minnesota, I know Minnesota dispatched Golden State. It didn't take many games, but there were a lot of stretches there where I was watching, wondering how are the Warriors keeping up. Did you think Minnesota kind of didn't take them as seriously as they could have? I know at one point Chris Finch was imploring Ant, saying, "Look, you got to finish. You got to finish." Did we see an example of what you're talking about in that Golden State series, even though Minnesota won that series?
No doubt about it. Very well spotted by you. Yes. You had the back-to-back games where Ant-Man was in the 30s and looking like Kobe and looking like Jordan. I don't have his game log in front of me, but I just know it wasn't every game. And that goes back to the first round. And that goes back to last year in the playoffs. Like, he has these games, and then he doesn't. Mm-hmm. And look, I'm not banging on Ant-Man. I love him, okay? I freaking love Ant-Man. He's 23 years old. He's not supposed to have all of this stuff figured out. But this is what he needs to do. I would say about Luka that when Luka gets serious, he's not. He's goofy. He's half-assing it. Literally, Luka Doncic is basically a 30-point triple-double every night, and he's just kind of half-assing it out there. When he gets serious, it's over. When Ant-Man figures out this full-time Kobe Jordan thing, it's over. But they haven't done it yet. So yeah, I really love what OKC has done, man. The 68 wins, 6th all-time. All of the metrics and analytics are off the freaking charts. Love the team construction. Love the Giddey trade to bring in Caruso. Guys, this is going to be, Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes. This is going to be Roberto Duran and Thomas Hearns, man. This is going to be an awesome fight.
Joined by Rick LaCam. So if that's the case, and I don't want you to jump out there and let me know, who you think is winning, who's going to win the series, as we know who you're rooting for. Mm-hmm. If Ant-Man,
you know me, Jay, I'm objective. I got OKC in 7.
Oh, come on now. Now you telling the story. You must just be saying that for the giggles.
I'm serious.
Seriously,
who do I want to win?
Right. Versus who you think.
If you ask me, who you're betting on, well, we'll take that to the live betting. In game, and I'll try to, monetize runs and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But I can't pick Minnesota right now over OKC. They're not a better basketball team than OKC. They don't have home court advantage. Minnesota, frankly, has been kind of weird at home. And this Ant-Man thing.
Right.
Like, if you told me right now, Cam, Ant-Man is going to average 37.5 points in this series and play like, a Jordan or a Kobe the whole series.
Right.
Then I'll say Minnesota in 7, but okay. I don't know that that's going to happen.
Man, Killer Cam going something. That I wasn't expecting that, but you are. You keep it real. You keep it a buck. So I appreciate that. Let me say this: if let's just say Ant does what he's supposed to do, and you're right there in Game 7, what position does Mike Conley play for this team? Because we know a wily veteran can do certain things. Is Mike still capable of doing what he needs to do as the veteran of the ball club?
Yeah, I forget the game, guys. It was 5 or 6 against Golden State. I so many games I kind of forget right now. But it was the game where Golden State made a really concerted effort to get Ant-Man off the ball. I think Ant-Man had a career high in assists in that game. Again, it was like 3 weeks ago with all these breaks.
Right.
But anyway, Mike Conley had, 5 or 6 3 balls in that game. He was amazing. So, look, Conley's going to have these games where he doesn't do much and, it's kind of low dough in the box score. And then he's going to have these games, where it's a Conley game. And that's, what veteran mercenary types that have had great careers like Mike Conley do. The Wolves don't need 10 points a game from Mike Conley. What they need is like some timely eruptions, and that's exactly what happened in that GSW game. So, yeah, I still think Conley's a very, very viable player.
Rick, speaking of Conley, one of the thoughts I have watching these games, and I was just talking to Jay about a little bit ago, do you think it's possible Danny Ainge should have just kept Gobert, and I know Conley's a little older, but kept him and kept Donovan Mitchell and tried to fortify that team instead of tearing it down, and where, he's been years now wandering in the desert?
Well, that's a really interesting question. Okay, so I absolutely hate the Utah tank. I think it sucks because it doesn't make sense. Because tanking in the NBA is just, look, I get it, but like a 3-year tank for that team, with Markkanen and Collins and Sexton and Clarkson, They have a good team. Like, legit, I believe that they would be PIT bubblicious if they went for it. And then make a move. Go get aggressive. Like, add dudes, right? And then you can be good in Utah again. So I hate the tank. I'm so glad that they didn't get Cooper flagged and get rewarded for that bull crap. The whole Dallas thing, I mean, you want to talk about a frozen envelope, hello. But I do like it. I mean, give me a break right there. You can't sell me a coincidence on that one.
Come on, Cam, don't do it now. You know you're a wily veteran in the NBA circles, man. Be careful.
I mean, I'm on record. I'm on Twitter. I'm on my podcast saying this stuff. It's just my opinion. But this Utah thing, man, is weird to me. Should he have kept it together? I don't know. It kind of felt like the Utah thing with Gobert, Mitchell, Ingles, all those guys was kind of plateauing a little bit. I think players were ready for new. I think everybody was kind of ready for some new right there. But yeah, Danny Ainge took a wrecking ball to that thing. And so now that they didn't get Cooper flagged, guess what? They're going to tank again next year and drive me crazy again.
Joined by Rick Kamler, Killer Cam. Cam, one of the things I want to ask you, because one of your old stomping grounds is Atlanta, of course. Man, Trae Young is just always in the news. He is steadily in the news in the form of this is the year they finally trade Trae Young. This is the year the Hawks finally move off of Trae Young. Someone who's been down there, someone who had a daily show in Atlanta and had these conversations. What is Trae Young missing? What is the problem down there in Atlanta, and why does it seem like the Hawks always want to move on Trae Young?
Right, but they haven't yet.
Right.
That's a really loaded question. What is Trae missing? Trae is who he is. Okay, he's not going to get stronger. He's not going to grow, and he's not going to become a better defender than he is right now. None of that's going to happen. What he is one of the most historical 2010 point guards of all time. He is going to finish with a point total and an assist total. When his career is over, we're going to say, oh my God, okay, first ballot Hall of Famer, all of that stuff is happening. There's a couple reasons they can't trade him. First of all, like, he's Trae Young. You're really going to have to load up to go get him. And do teams around the league want to do that? Do they want to give up 5 first-round picks and all kinds of players? Because that's what it would take. Trae Young does not have a good reputation around the NBA. All right, this is why he doesn't make all-star teams. Lloyd Pierce lost his job. Nate McMillan lost his job. I'm not going to play the CK card on you right now and spell that out. Jay, to your point, I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of reporting about rifts between Trae and those coaches, and I'll just leave it at that. But guess what? Coaches talk. It is one of the most hardcore fraternities that we have in all of sports is NBA head coaches. They have their own association, okay? So they talk, they're buddy-buddy, they golf together, they've coached here and there and everywhere else with each other and against each other. They all talk, okay? And I think the coaches have kind of gathered up against Trae Young. And guess what? Wow. Those coaches are on all the other teams that might trade for Trae Young. So I'm not saying that I have a problem with Trae Young. But I do sense that he's developed a bit of a bad reputation, and I think that's why he struggles to make all-star teams when it's obvious he's an all-star, and B, why the Hawks have not been able to trade him yet.
That's Rick Kamler with this. Rick, I wanted to circle back, if I may, to the tank talk because, and forgive me if you know this, but Kings fans have been talking a lot about tanking. Kings fans are as divided and as frustrated as I think they've ever been, which is saying a lot. They feel somewhat betrayed by the fact that, you had the Bean team just a couple years ago, and now here we are again firing a coach, firing a GM. So you've got a lot of fans around here saying, and Jay and I talk to them every day, just tear it down, just tank. But, that's very dangerous as well. You do have some assets. So I just love your opinion on, for the Kings, tank, run it back, or something in between, which for what it's worth, I think Jay and I are both kind of, something in between, a more moderate retooling. But what do you think? A lot of people want this team to tank, Jay. Rick, pardon.
You've got DeRozan, you've got Levine, you've got Monk, you've got Keegan, you've got Sabonis. That's one of the best 5-pack of offensive players in the entire NBA. The problem is you can't play defense, all right? And Keon Ellis can't stop everybody. To me, it's a no-brainer for Keon Ellis to start on this team. All right, let's begin there. He has to start. When you're hitting me They don't need Monk in the starting five, and I know he wants to start, but it's not the right thing for this team. Keegan will be more activated if he's coming off the bench. DeRozan and Levine are shot hogs, okay? These guys were born to score. Nothing's going to change with that. Sabonis is going to do his thing, 20, 13, and 6 or whatever the line is. So somebody's got to have some stones around. And I love Malik Monk, big fan. But somebody's got to have some stones around there and say, Malik, you're coming off the bench, dude. Like, this is what this team needs. You've got to balance it out and start Keon Ellis and bring that defense. Who else on the Kings plays any defense at all?
Keegan a little bit. Keegan a little.
So, well, I think he plays a lot of defense, but you got to thrust him into the starting five. And also, and I say this with all due respect to a billionaire who's done a lot of great stuff, but Vivek Ranadive's got to get out of the way, man. Okay, the fact that you fired Mike Brown and basically said goodbye to De'Aaron Fox at the same exact time, unconscionable, a huge blunder. Firing Monty McNair like 1 year after he wins Exec of the Year is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, to me, a little patience, breathe, exhale, relax, let it grow. Okay, but you've got a governor who is meddling and he's impatient. And here you go. SAC is back to being SAC. You're back to being a dysfunctional organization. You guys exited that lane for a minute, and now you're right back in it, and that stinks.
Cam, I'm gonna breathe real quick.
Let it out, man.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Just like I'm going to get a physical. Put that stethoscope on the back of my back. Cam,
don't give Ramsey any ideas.
You've been entrenched in the NBA circles for a long time, and I trust and appreciate what your opinion and your thought. With that being said, Scott Perry, somebody who's brand new, so to say, minus the 3 months that he spent here prior, 2017. What's your thoughts? What's the talk around NBA circles on Scott Perry relationship, a veteran of the NBA? What's your take on him?
Yeah, well, I can't speak to, why and how he got the SAC job. I just don't know. I go, I'm not like boys with Scott, but I go back, 20 years with him. I've been knowing him, seeing him at summer leagues and this and that. And great guy. Like, nice as can be, super smart. Seems like everybody loves him. I mean, he gets a lot, just kind of hanging around him. Like, people light up when they see him and stuff like that. He's just one of those kind of guys. He's a really outgoing, gift of gab, charming dude. Okay, so I like him a lot. I'm happy he's got, a big-time job again because, the New York thing, I don't know, maybe that was a little layover for him until he got a bigger job. I don't know. But I'm happy for Scott, certainly. I think he's a great guy. I think he'll do a fantastic job. But again, people need to get out of people's way. Guys, let's go back to Dallas in 2011. Mark Cuban was in the way of his team. Mark Cuban got out of the way of his team. Boom, they won a chip. It's no coincidence. And Glenn Taylor, okay, so I boycotted the Timberwolves for a long time, guys. Glenn Taylor drove me crazy. I couldn't do it anymore. I had to boycott the team. Passing on Curry twice, the Joe Smith death sentence, I'm like, I'm out. This guy's a horrible owner. Guess what? He's not the owner anymore, man. So now the Wolves actually finally have a chance to do this thing. Overbearing and mistake-prone ownership, it all trickles down, guys.
By the way, we have this in the chat here. Dividing Zero says, "Who is this guest, fam? He is fire. Like
right.
It's Rick Kamla.
My boy Killer Cam, man. Rick Kamla been doing it for a while.
Rick, let me ask you about this. We're going to have a new champ, as you well know, in the NBA for the 7th straight season. Good or bad for the league?
Oh, I think it's great. And I know that we have the historical model of the Bulls and the Stern era, and it drove ratings, and you had the boogeyman that everybody was trying to, avoid or kill or whatever. And that's not bad either. But guys, when Golden State had Kevin Durant and they broke the league, it was boring. We knew they were going to win it. It was like, all right, who's going to the finals to lose to Golden State? And they would have beaten Toronto, but you had Clay and Durant blowing tires in that series, right? So I would much rather have it like this, where it's wide open. Think about it, guys. We have a Toronto chip. I never thought I'd see Toronto win a chip, ever, okay? We have a Denver chip, first time ever. We got a Milwaukee chip for the first time in 50 years. Minnesota may win their first. OKC may win their first. New York's looking for their first in 50 years or something like that. And then you have Indiana. They've never won an NBA championship. So any way you slice it, it's going to be incredible for any four of these teams to win this championship. I like all four teams, and so I just can't wait to see what happens.
Cam, real fast before we let you go, we'd be remiss if we didn't jump to the other side, the Eastern Conference, where you reside. As much as you love the Minnesota Timberwolves, what's your take on the Eastern Conference? What you're looking at? Who you think comes out of that side?
We got 2 7-gamers here, fellas. I really think that, and I'm not selling. It's how I see both series. They're evenly matched. They're 4 badass teams, and Indiana and New York is going to be a war. It's going long. There's going to be a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden, and this time I don't think the Knicks are going to lose because last time it was an act of God by Indiana. They shot 65% or whatever it was, like the highest percentage ever in a Game 7. All this kind of stuff. And Brunson broke his hand in that game, by the way. So none of that stuff's happening again. I can't bet against my boy Brunson, my favorite player in the entire NBA. And so I got Knicks in 7.
Rick, thanks for your time, and you're a big hit here. Jeff M in the chat. And Jeff M, he doesn't like anything, right, Jay?
Nah, he doesn't like anything. Curmudgeon, man.
Yeah, he says, have this dude on weekly, most honest guest I've heard in a while. Ooh. So we appreciate your time very much. And listen, we're sorry we kept you from your wings.
Oh, it's all good. They needed to cool down a little bit anyway. Now they'll be the perfect.
Cam, can I ask, man, are them things tossed and are they tossed in any type of different sauce, or are you just going all butt naked? They organic?
It's just something from the freezer that I threw in the oven, man. There's no going on. There's nothing sexy going on. It's just a food for the boy.
Okay.
Thanks, Rick. We appreciate it.
Much love, Cam.
All right, dude. Take it easy.
Cam said he ain't got nothing special on them wings. Huh?
Yeah. I think there's more to that story
I think
than
so
he wants
too.
to tell us. By the way, Dividing Zeros also, and thank you, Dividing Zeros, for being with us. Dividing Zeros says, Whitey, I have that exact same shirt on right now.
What?
2002, 2003
they got that
Pacific
shirt on.
Division champions.
Tell
baby.
him take a picture and post it so we can see it.
I believe him.
Man.
He doesn't believe you, Dividing Zeros.
Nah. First of all, anybody that's dividing zeros, I'm not trusting them from the jump.
This shirt is not in bad shape considering it's.
That's an 02? What they say, 02 throwback?
0203.
Retro
So, yeah.
gang.
Yeah.
Did you wear that because of the Western Conference starting today, or that's what just touched you in your mind today? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just I wanted to represent.
Why
the
how in the hell are you keeping some of these threads for that long?
Why not? This is.
I'm not saying there's a reason why. I'm saying how are you doing these things?
Yeah, I guess there was an extended period where I didn't wear it much, and it kind of went into, kind of the t-shirt purgatory.
For sure,
and then, you move or something. It's like, oh, what's this? Oh, I forgot about all these shirts.
So you rediscovered the pot.
Yeah, we just my wife found like, I don't know, 30 shirts. This wasn't one of them, but there's a bunch of shirts in there, like Sacktown Sports 1140 with the yellow, and the black and the red.
Yes.
I might have to wear that.
Okay, bust that, man.
Wow.
Retro, baby, throwback.
Yeah. It's like what do they call those? A little time capsule.
Of course.
Yeah. Thanks for lining that up, Jay.
Of course, anytime you want.
Yeah. And it was great talking to him. I don't think he quite answered my question on the Kings, did he? Tank or not?
Yeah, he spun around it.
Yeah.
He kind of hit you with the Carmichael Dave.
A little bit. A little bit. A lot of that going around. Yeah. When we come back, we'll take a look at the the Kings' connections to the team still playing. And what does the NBA's new age of chaos mean for your Kings? Next with the Drive Guys right here on Sacktown Sports.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Players of all abilities will tell you that Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course is the area's #1 course for fun. Whether you're a beginner or an accomplished player, Bartley Cavanaugh has something for you. It's a great walking course, but motorized carts are available too. The moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas will add to your satisfaction and smiles for the day. Near the banks of the picturesque Sacramento River, Bartley Cavanaugh's Tap House Restaurant offers tasty food, whether you play golf or not. For tee times, visit BartleyCavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday.
Well, hopefully you were with us for Rick Kamla. He joined us, and he got rave reviews on the text line and the chat. And I think, Jay, is because he called out ownership. And that's kind of where Kings fans are right now.
Yeah.
Stop meddling.
Yeah.
Let the basketball people do their basketball things.
That seems to be the thing that is in the air right now throughout sports. And you made a great point. Yeah, it's one of those situations we've seen here in Oakland. You don't get it done for too long, move on.
Mm-hmm.
They're just calling for the ownership group to move on. And, Cam being from Minnesota and a T-Wolves guy, he talked about Glenn Taylor, and now, of course, A-Rod and his group is up there owning that. And he, as Rick said, he's glad Glenn Taylor moved on. We've seen so many different organizations be sold. We're seeing a couple more. Celtics, come to mind off the top of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we just saw a small percentage of San Francisco 49ers also get sold. Now, the York family won't be moving on, but
they're still maintain controlling interest.
Majority controlling interest.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things now that fans have kind of started to say, hey, listen, I'm paying my money. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on.
Yeah, if you can't get it done, let somebody else
do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned A-Rod. That's one of my very favorite things ever about Ant is when he first found out that A-Rod was going to own the team. And I know there was, some legal entanglements.
Right.
And somebody asked him about Alex Rodriguez. He's like, who's that?
Who's that?
I don't know who that is. It's like, that's so great. Because, A-Rod is one of those people that he would be bothered by that.
Yeah, he cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, A-Rod wants you to know who A-Rod is.
Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Looking at connections to the Kings from the teams that are still playing here, real quick. It's not important. It's just kind of a trivial matter. With Minnesota, you got Elston Turner as an assistant coach.
Shout out ET.
Yes. The great Elston Turner, who probably should have gotten more opportunities here, but he made most of the ones he got here.
No doubt.
You also have Corliss Williamson on the
Shout
staff
out
there.
to the big nasty.
Yes. You have, let's see, with the Knicks, I think you have DeLon Wright is on the team.
Okay, D. Wright.
Uh-huh.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm. Scott Perry, of course, used to be there.
Absolutely.
With the, let's see, who am I? Indiana. Well, we know all about Indiana.
No one comes to mind over there at Indiana.
Yeah.
If
you think about it, it'll hit you.
All right.
You'll be tonight. You'll be
Is
in
it
bed.
blatant? Is it right there?
You wake up right in the middle of the night. Ah!
That's who Whitey was talking about.
And then OKC, there I cannot find one.
There may be somebody. Let me take a look at their complete roster. Marketing, PR. Somebody might be.
Yeah, it's funny. The Kings over the years have had a lot of guys playing a lot of different teams, right? Because they went through periods where they went through a lot of players.
Right.
There are not that many guys who played for the Sacramento Kings and the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's, Desmond Mason, Domas. There are a few, but there really aren't many.
And they don't
like our guys.
They don't figure to be.
And it's kind of, as I was looking at it today, it was kind of surprising. Because like I say, it's not hard to find guys. You know who's one guy who played for both teams?
Who's that?
Jeremy Lamb.
Jeremy Lamb?
Okay. He's one of the more recent, if not the most recent.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Domas is currently playing.
Sure,
obviously.
I'm pretty sure we'll be hearing a little more Jeremy Lamb here moving as we move forward. I see Jeremy Lamb, and I think he has officially announced his retirement, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. He was talking about how where he was down in Villanova, he was, kind of like the small guy on the roster. And I'm like, what? And it just made me think about, because we know the Knicks, aka the Knicks of Villanova.
Yeah.
There's so many of those guys, and I just feel like they're huge. Villanova's producing some top flight talent, but they're long and athletic. And then it took me back as I was doing some research on the series, the Knicks and the Pacers. It's like, no wonder they won a couple championships. They literally had top flight NBA All-Stars. They had NBA talent for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man.
Have you seen the commercial with DiVincenzo?
And Jeremy Lamb with the Connecticut, but just to make sure I put that out there.
DiVincenzo's in the locker room with Brunson and was it Bridges and Hart, and they see each other, because they used to all be teammates. They went to Villanova. Have you seen that one? And then they throw him a hat at the end.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that commercial, with DiVincenzo, yeah.
How crazy would that be if the Knicks and the Timberwolves, who perpetrated one of the most shocking deals before the season started. Now we've had so many shocking deals since then. It's like, yeah, that was nothing. What if they met in the finals? That would be incredible.
And DiVincenzo wins?
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Mm-hmm. And he's the last guy.
He didn't want to go.
No, he didn't. He did not want to go. From all accounts, he was upset that they got rid of him. And, who knows? Leon Rose, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why you trading DiVincenzo? But it's worked out for both of them. The Knicks have a good, if not great team. We'll see how great they are. And DiVincenzo has had a fantastic year for Minnesota, and they're right there. They have everything in front of them. Absolutely everything in front of them. As I look up here at the story, it said NFL owners expected to vote on the ban of tush push play tomorrow. It has now been extended.
All right. Kyle Draper, all you Eagle fans, you got not even a full day left to enjoy your little tush push.
Did you see, and I wanted to get your as I'm looking over the OKC.
Look at that, Dad, it's not football. I don't know what that is.
Let me see it. Looks like football players, but I could be wrong.
That's not football what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
That's a glorified grab ass masquerading as NFL football. That's what that is. Vote it out of the NFL.
Electronic football.
Rugby scrum. Thank you, Ramsey.
Did you see that the NFL voted for players to be able to participate in the 2028 Olympics of flag football?
I did see that.
How about that?
If you were an NFL player, would you want to play flag
Hell
football in the
yeah.
Olympics? Really?
Team USA, baby. Shouts out to Team USA 2028, man.
It's a money grab. It's obviously a smart one.
Money grab, yeah.
Yeah, and I know the NFL is looking at the future of flag football, and they're looking at international expansion of football, and they know that, all right, American football, such as it is, they're probably not going to be playing that all over the world. But flag football could catch on, and they're right.
Yeah.
I've often said this, Jay. One of the worst things about starting to get older is your friends don't want to play flag football anymore.
Okay.
You know, when you're a kid, let's go play in the street, play flag football. Okay.
Sure.
It's great. You get to a certain age and your friends are like, yeah, I don't know. What's wrong with you? So anyway, I love flag football.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So what am I hearing? You coming out of retirement or what?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, talk to
I'd
me.
love
Then. Talk to me. I didn't know where you was going with that.
I'm just saying I love flag football, so it's smart that the NFL wants to expand it, and that's the way, really, the best way to expand football. But I've just, I just cringe to think what some of these mismatches are going to be in, Olympic flag football.
Well, whose fault is that?
I think the USA will have an advantage.
Whose fault? Maybe a small one. Whose fault is that when you're playing, Taiwan and they're playing against Team USA in football? That's not our fault.
It's nobody's fault. It's just pointless.
We're playing the Congo,
Yeah.
the
Dominican, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, football, baby.
3rd and 6 for them.
Silver medal.
Off.
Silver medal goes to American Samoa.
They might actually be okay.
Yeah.
They might be all right. Yeah, but that's true. Trinidad and Tobago coming up 3rd and 6th pick. I'm looking forward to it. You want to see pure dominance. You want to see, dream team. What are we going to call the football squad?
I would rather see 2 excellent teams play each other than one team play another team that looks at a football and tries to figure out how to open it because they've never seen one before. And that's not their fault either.
Come on now.
Wow, it's just not really.
Football's universal.
In the spirit of the Olympics.
Football's universal at this point, Whitey. You don't think guys are playing football everywhere?
No, I don't.
Really?
I mean, it's fine with me if they are. I just doubt that they are. Soccer, yeah. Basketball's catching on. Football, it's going to take a while. And that's why the NFL is doing this, and I get that. But do we need NFL players to go out there and just totally humiliate these other countries?
Well, I don't. Okay, so who would you like to be out there? If not the NFL, what, college? Where we going? High school?
I mean, it's going to be a mismatch either way, isn't
Right.
it? I think we have a national flag team.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But
but we don't need to make it worse.
No. See, no. Maybe we implement a few different guys a part of that national team. Because you got to have top-end talent.
I think every NFL team gets one guy who can play, and then they also have an international guy who can play for his country. I believe that's how I read.
I got to go back and look at that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you something.
So USA could have a really good team.
So let me ask you,
Mm-hmm.
916-339-1140, you can jump in on this too. What happens if, because it sounds like you don't have a high approval of the NFL players playing.
I just think it's unnecessary. It's
Okay.
inevitable. It's unavoidable. It's going to happen, but I don't know why we need it.
What happens if Team USA goes out and gets smacked around in the Olympics in flag football?
Then we're all in trouble because something's seriously wrong with the universe.
Well, but no, I'm just saying if you
How would that
send
happen,
out
Jay?
you send out our national team right now.
Yeah.
and I'm not up on our national flag football team.
I'm not either.
I probably need to do a little more research. I don't know if Team USA has won the gold over the last about of how many competitions they've had. World championships, I would say. National championships, whatever they want to call it. What happens, though, Whitey, if America, Samoa, Australia, Canada, who knows, goes out and beats Team USA? Would that change your mind?
Depends on the score.
Let me ask a question.
Very surprised by that.
People would be in an uproar.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
Would be, but I doubt that would. Yeah.
Would it be something similar to like what happened with the Dream Team in 2004, and we got to go back and revamp this and make sure we got the best players so we guarantee ourselves a gold medal in flag football?
We're talking about basketball, which has been played around the world for many years, compared to flag football, guys. You know that.
But it's not tackle. It's not full contact, Whitey. So it's going to be a little easier to do. You might could just go get you a couple of athletes. Have you ever seen Cool Runnings, man? Have you ever seen Cool Runnings?
Jamaica.
I don't know if I ever actually saw it.
Okay. Things can happen, Whitey.
Uh-huh.
You can get a couple of athletes and do what you need to do to go out and beat a couple of guys right now who's out here welding.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Team USA flag football guys are doing right now.
So you're saying it would be a more level playing field because it's just flag and anybody can play flag.
I'm saying there's a higher percentage of it. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is I want to keep my foot. I want to dominate. I don't want to allow anyone to even feel like they have an opportunity until they go put some time, put some effort, get a program. The same things you see over in Europe and other places. How about you start to build a fantastic facility, AC Milan. Go put a football team together. How about that? Manchester City, Man United.
A flag football
Juventus.
academy
Yes,
in Italy?
right.
That's what we need.
Come on, Juventus.
Yeah, you've talked me into it now. Yes, USA.
PSG.
That conversation continues. Also, we'll look at one thing that the NBA doesn't want you to notice about the remaining NBA playoff teams. Next, Drive Guys are with you on Sacktown Sports.
San Francisco!
What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Touchdown!
With the hot weather coming soon, you might have HVAC needs. We did recently. Well, not that recently. Around Christmas when our heater went out. There are so many HVAC companies out there. How to choose? Well, a friend recommended, as I've told you, we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. It was good advice. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, they treated us with the respect from the person who answered the phone to the guys who installed our new HVAC unit. So it comes down to this. Why choose Lee's? With all these choices, why choose Lee's? They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. I don't believe you can do better than that. They get 4.8 stars on Google. A lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards for their service. They've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. And you can trust Lee's, as I found out, with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair and commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement. It's all about serving customers and community. And check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service with the hot weather arriving. Let Lee's Air take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. License number 635355.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
I just saw a number on one of our many monitors in here that ESPN Analytics says the Thunder has an 82% chance to win this series.
Man, that's pretty high. I have to go look and see what that value of the Minnesota Timberwolves is.
I see it that way myself, but I'm surprised that that's the number because you talk to a lot of people and you read previews and things. There's a lot of people that think Minnesota can and will win this series. But we'll get back to that, Jay. What I've decided to do is look up which non-U.S. countries could challenge NFL stars in Olympic flag football.
Okay.
So this is from, and thank you, SI, 5 potential adversaries to watch for American fans.
Flag football.
Flag football.
Okay.
Today, NFL owners authorizing their players to play flag football in the 2028 Olympics. Here are 5 other nations to keep an eye on ahead of the men's tournament. Australia.
There you go. I figured.
The land down under.
I figured.
Primarily known among American football fans for
rugby,
kickers and punters. That sells short, this says. The sheer variety of football codes Australia can draw from. Australia football, rugby league, rugby union, soccer, and so on. Many of these football codes contain transferable skills, though forward passing may prove thorny. Yeah, other than that, I mean, Australia's good. They can't throw forward pass, but other than that, look out, USA.
They can run.
Yeah. Austria.
Ooh.
When I first saw this, I thought they meant Australia and just misspelled it. But no, they have Australia already as a separate category. Austria is the current answer to the trivia question, who is ranked number 2 in the world in men's flag football? The Austrians hold that title.
Really?
Reign as the defending European champions of American football. Austria's only non-practice squad NFL player is offensive lineman Bernhard Rehmann, which could pose talent issues against North American squads. Gee, these teams are not very good.
Yeah, that's a smaller country, though. Yeah, they don't have a lot of talent to choose from.
Third, and shame on them for being third. I'm a huge fan of this country. I'm surprised their team isn't doing better in flag football. Oh, Canada. You know, they're right next to us and they have the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
How are they third?
Yeah, I don't know. They're still on a lot of the talent from the south part of their border, below the southern part of their border.
This says, and this could be a drawback for them in their efforts to medal.
Okay.
A quarterback, it says, pardon me, I misread it. A quarterback would not be difficult to find.
So they can throw it forward, unlike Australia. Okay.
Yeah. See the 49ers, Curtis Rourke. Green Bay Packers, Tyler Elgersma.
Yeah.
Or any number of CFL stars. Skill position, talent abounds. I honestly think Canada could be higher than third if they
I think
cared.
so, too. If you were to ask me,
probably say
they're
we're
number 2.
not that worried about it. They would have to be.
For sure.
Yeah. Mexico. NFL has never been shy about its designs on Mexico. The league has played 5 games in Mexico City all time. Okay, but I'm looking for anything that leads me to believe their team's any good.
Maybe you have some NFL stars who died, who cross over to their heritage, their Mexican heritage.
Mexico's American football infrastructure is a bit lacking, and its only 2 current NFL players are linemen. All right, I'm not really that worried about Mexico when it comes to threatening.
But see, we see that in the NBA where, you'll see a guy, well, I'll go play for Puerto Rico. I'll go play for Trinidad and Tobago, things of that nature. Maybe you see some of these guys who have Mexican heritage, who have Spanish heritage, Spanish bloodline, who say, I'll go, I didn't make Team USA, but I'll go play for Mexico.
Yeah, if you, and in some cases, isn't it like if your grandparents
Sometimes
are from a certain
different
country.
countries.
You can represent that country.
Yeah.
And then fifth, they have Nigeria, and it says this is a left field addition to the list.
Okay,
So,
come
yeah.
on now. Yeah, that's a Barry Bonds edition.
Yeah.
Left field.
Yeah.
So
they
what
do-
are you saying,
They do
Whitey?
mention Nelson Aguilar.
Okay.
Lagos-born wide receiver. I'm saying that this is going to be very one-sided.
So what would you like to see?
NFL players should rest. Find something else to do. We don't need you yet, guys. Rest up for 4, 8, 16 years down the road when we might actually need you.
But
You
then
know?
those guys, 4, 8, 16, 12 years, they might not be, top notch. So who would you like to see represent Team USA?
Just the regular USA flag team. That's the other thing. These guys, I don't know anything about them or a single guy on the team. They've been training for years, Jay, to represent their country.
They still gonna be on the team. No one said they can't be.
Oh yeah. You think Jimmy over there is he's gonna play instead of
Justin Jefferson?
Yeah,
of course.
I'm thinking Jimmy's probably not gonna make the trip while it's in LA.
Right. Come on, man. Everybody can post up. It'd be a 20-man team. We don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you wouldn't even, you're not even excited to see third tier players from the NFL. Not stars, not starters.
No, I wouldn't. The whole thing makes me cringe. I just feel like what is gained by just totally dominating a country that is still learning to play football with our best players? Is that something you can really be? I mean, a win's a win, I know, but
right.
Is that something you'd really get excited about?
Yeah, because you're getting to see these athletes in a different light. You're getting to see them, and we know how it goes. As much as some people dislike the Olympics, you still have you still have patriotism.
Sure.
And so to see a Justin Jefferson go out. Now I get the point where you're like, okay, enough is enough. Call the dogs off. They even blew them out by 80, but I'd still like to see Justin Jefferson, in which is pretty much a glorified passing league. I would like to see that once or twice. Now, if you smack them up the first time around and it's too much, then yeah, maybe we go get some AFL stars, some Arena Football League guys, or the UFL guys or something of that nature. Give them opportunity to not only have the experience and make a little change, make a little coin. But I would like to see it one time. I would love to see Tyreek Hill blast down the sideline one time during the Olympics. Like, go ahead. Why not?
Just so you know, I always find myself just kind of naturally pulling for underdogs.
Most people
I
do.
reserve the right to root for a country that my ancestors are from in the Olympics. I'm not saying I'm gonna. I didn't see any of them listed there.
Right.
But I reserve that right.
And so who will we be looking at?
Yeah, well, I don't think Germany and Sweden or Ireland are going to be very good. But I'm working on it.
You don't know. The NFL's been up. Remember, you don't remember NFL Germany? You don't remember NFL
do.
Europe?
The Rhine
Germany?
Fire.
Absolutely, baby.
Yes.
Frankfurt Galaxy.
Come on now.
You know who used to coach? I think Tom Sula was a coach either for them or maybe it was for the Frankfurt. No, I was going to say Barcelona. Might have been Barcelona Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The Rhine Fire.
It's not foreign to these countries.
Mhm.
They might just not have top end talent. I'm telling you, watch some of these guys who, just what you said, who have lineage, who have family history. Like, yeah, you know what? I'll go play for Germany real fast.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be surprised because we know how it is with the Olympics. Countries tend to say, hey, listen, we want to make a mark here. We want to do well. We're looking to establish some medals, medal count. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those regulations open up for some of these people to go play for these.
How are
countries.
you going to feel if, heaven forbid, I won't even say a player's name,
Sure.
just a receiver on your favorite team
Oh, here we go. Get
gets
hurt.
injured playing flag football in the Olympics? How are you going to feel about that, Jay?
It's part of the game, man.
It doesn't have to be, though.
It's part of the game. It's just part of the game. Injuries are, if that's the case, then I should walk around in a bubble. That's how life happens.
It's one thing to get hurt when you're playing in a game.
Mhm.
You're competing in an actual NFL game. To get hurt playing flag football in the Olympics, that would be unfortunate. That's why I urge all NFL players, stay home in 28. Watch the games on TV, or you can go attend the games. We just don't need you to play yet, guys. We don't need you out there yet.
Whitey, man. Let me text Justin Jefferson right now. Big fella, I need you to go out there and give me 10 TDs, big man.
Go ahead and text Jamar Chase while you're at it too.
Right. Give him. I need it all.
That's the first quarter for him.
Absolutely. Then you can go sit down.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? No different than these guys are getting ready to be out here on the beach. They're getting ready to be out here passing league. They're training with each other. It's glorified sparring, so to say.
Yeah, it's Brussels against the USA here in an Olympic qualifier.
I'm all in.
Sprouts.
I'm all in. NBC, if you're listening, I would love to be on the sideline right now for flag football.
All right. Keeping with football, staying with football here, Jay. I've got something really interesting for you. Why the 49ers don't want their quarterback to do it all, as told by Kyle Shanahan. You know, everyone says, oh, Brock Purdy can't do what other quarterbacks can do. Would you like to hear from Kyle Shanahan's own mouth why he doesn't want a quarterback to do everything?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
All right. So you're being a good sport here, but it doesn't sound like you're that enthusiastic.
No, because I got to get one of my guys on from the flag football squad.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that
we got to
too.
make that happen.
Yeah. All right. That and more next. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. A comfortable start Wednesday, but it'll warm up fast again. Morning temperatures will be in the mid-50s, afternoon highs in the mid-90s with strong sunshine. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
No sports fan, no football fan will ever forget this day, although I will certainly try. Today, the day that NFL owners officially voted in favor of NFL players trying out for flag football in the 2028 Olympics. Yeah, they have to try out. They might not make the team because the guys on the national team might beat them out. No more than one player from each NFL roster can participate on a team. Players under NFL contract can try out for teams participating in the 2028 Olympics. And I have more information for you, Jay, on who the top countries are right now in flag football. And I apologize because I was just mentioning men, but of course this is a women's sport too as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My apologies. Before we get to that, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Kyle has been hanging on. How are you, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing, man. I'm listening to this conversation, and I think we're grossly overestimating our chances to do well as Americans in the sport. And reasons being, it's like a 5-on-5. You've got another sport, that's an Olympic sport called sevens rugby. And quite frankly, all you need to do to avoid getting tackled or your flagpole is to lateral the ball. There's countries out there that smoke the United States every year in sevens rugby, and those countries, all you need is your best 5 players in the country to be on the field at any time. So we might need more than one NFL player from each team trying out. We're going to do well in this one. I'll take the thoughts out there. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. But I will point out here, men's 2024 IFAF
International
Flag Football World Rankings. Yeah, International Federation of American Flag Football. I don't know. USA is number 1, even without any NFL teams, in both men's and women's.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Austria, we mentioned Austria. They're second in these rankings. Then Mexico. Then Germany.
Okay.
Deutschland. Forever. France is 5th. Italy. Jay and I were going to open a flag football academy.
Yeah, over in Italy right now.
Somewhere in Italy. Switzerland, Israel, Panama, and Japan. Those are the top 10. Women's, it's USA, Mexico, Japan, Austria, Great Britain, Canada, Spain, Germany, Panama, Italy. How is Canada not in the top 10 in men's flag football?
Yeah, that is interesting because if you would have told me, I thought they would be number 2.
They must not care. It's like we'd rather play hockey.
Well, that's all they care about.
Uh-huh.
Minus a few other guys who like to hoop.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all they care about. For me, and I'm looking at the roster of 2024 U.S. men's flag national team roster. There's nobody of, and no disrespect to these gentlemen, there's no one of recognition.
And they still dominate the world rankings.
And yeah, they do. But what I think what I'm saying is this, because it's new and it's the first year, 2028, I would love to see a couple of names attached to the roster. Because it is, and who was that caller? I can't remember who that was, but
Kyle
was
a caller.
He's coming at it from a different standpoint of, like you're saying, rugby. Rugby, not football. And I get what Kyle's trying to say is, like you said, we might be overestimating. Nah, we're not, Kyle. I mean, I'm comfortable in saying we're not.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no one that's going to be able to dime and pinpoint guys. If you haven't been a quarterback on a certain level, then good luck. I've looked at, and we had this conversation last year, Whitey, about, and it went back to the quarterback. The quarterback who I believe is his name is Hoosh, right, or Doucette or something like that.
He made headlines by saying he's better than Pat
Mahomes. Yeah, Caceres
in flag, right?
Like Nick
in flag,
Caceres, right?
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That's crazy talk. But could you imagine? And I know I'm talking about Justin Jefferson and Pat Mahomes. We don't need those guys. But a Shedeur Sanders, someone that brings a name, someone that brings an interest, and I don't know why this name popped in my mind, but just because he was super fast, a James Jett, like someone who's decent on a roster, necessarily probably third string, but would be a fantastic crossover player. Someone who's played in passing league for so long, or been part of football for a long time, that passing league is second nature. I would love to see some of those names cross over, kick a little tail, man.
Here's the guy you're talking about, Daryl. As you said, Hoosh Doucette. I think it was in August of 24. He said, I think it's disrespectful that they just automatically assume that they're able to just join the Olympic team because of the person that they are. They didn't help grow this game to get to the Olympics. Give the guys who helped this game get to where it's at their respect.
Agreed.
I'm with him.
Yeah, agreed. But as I said, we could carry a 30-man roster if we want to. Now, unless they say, listen, fellas, you can only put 15 team, whatever on the roster. Yeah, that's cool. But take 5-6 of these guys, go get another 5 or 6 NFL guys or college guys, or, something that, and you brought up a great point as we're going to break or off the air. What about some of the guys who are just retired?
Yeah. I was kind of assuming at one point they'd be the ones that would
Those
play
be the
this.
ones. Could you imagine T.O. right now on a flag football team for Team USA?
We're talking about an international incident or two.
And he didn't just retire, but T.O. has said, I can go out and ball right now.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Ocho Cinco right now, Chad? You wouldn't be in for that?
That would be more interesting.
Okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere there, Mr. Gleason.
Yeah. Joseph Acosta for MSN.com, I believe. He wrote this. He put this together. Here's his roster. He says, Jane Daniels, Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. And he says, it might be premature, but Travis Hunter.
Right.
Put them out there.
That's a smoke out. Yeah, that's a blowout. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but
no offense to Kyle, but yeah, I don't think the rugby team from Ireland is going to be able to handle those guys.
Okay, so how many people did he say? Give it to me one more time.
He said Jane Daniels.
Okay, let's replace him with J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
All right.
Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay. Raheem Mostert.
Okay. Justin Jefferson.
So we need a wide receiver.
He's got Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that's too much. We got to come down.
P? Tricky Ricky P?
Tricky Ricky P. There we go. Tricky Ricky P. Bring them all down.
Mm-hmm. And then he says, might be premature, but how about Travis Hunter?
Marquez Valding Scantling. How about let's bring it down a little bit. All right. Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
How about
Who's
that?
the guy the 49ers drafted and he can't? Danny Gray?
Danny Gray,
Yeah.
baby. Jacob Cowan.
Yeah.
Put him on there.
Uh-huh.
No George Kittle, but maybe you go and get a young gun or something,
Garrett Wilson from the Jets.
That's probably too high. Like G. Will's too high. We shooting too high, fellas. We got to come down just a little bit. Like you said, Dylan Gabriel. That's perfect.
Yeah. And they're playing Italy today, and a quarterback for Italy, it's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, man. Well, we know we're wanting that because he's going to throw a pick. He's going to miss a few wide receivers.
Real quick. I mentioned Shanahan. This, to me, Jay, is fascinating. We'll just touch on this and we'll move on here. This is from Mike Silver's book. He has a book coming out. This is an excerpt. And this is from a time when it looked like Trey Lance was starting to fall on hard times, and people were starting to wonder, hey, is he going to be all right? Is he going to be able to play? Shortly after that, they brought in Garoppolo, and then it ended up that Brock Purdy got the job. So anyway, Mike Silver was talking to Shanahan, and he was saying, talking about his accuracy and stuff and about having a quarterback who can do everything. And here's what Kyle Shanahan said. This is a really interesting window into how he looks at quarterbacks. Doesn't mean he's right, but this explains a lot. Kyle Shanahan talked about the previous playoff victory over Matt LaFleur and the Packers. He talked about how much of Green Bay's operation revolved around Aaron Rodgers. And Kyle Shanahan said, that's why they don't win. And he said Peyton Manning, a quarterback he believed had the greatest ever command at the position, had suffered a bunch of postseason disappointments in his career because they relied on him too much. He says there are just too many variables you have to deal with that are difficult to predict. It's too much on one guy. There can be bad weather, injuries, so many things. The only quarterback who has ever been able to handle all of it, in my opinion, is Tom Brady. For anyone else, you need to give him some help, end quote. So Kyle Shanahan isn't looking for a guy who can do everything.
Yeah, he's a fool if he believes that. That's not true. And I get what he's trying to say. But I'm just going off the laws of the letter of what you're saying.
Yeah, like I said, that doesn't mean he's right, but it tells you how he looks at it.
Yeah, and I get it. He's the whisperer. He wants to be the QB whisperer. And that's fine. I understand that. But Whitey, the argument to that is, and I'm a defender of this, so I'm just playing devil's advocate. The argument to that is you haven't won it with the guys you like.
You're correct. You're talking about they didn't win and they didn't win. Well, you haven't won it.
Exactly. And that's what, if you to prove that theory right, you need to win a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. And that's the tough part for me to believe, because as you talking about the Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's and all, even though he said Tom, those guys have won.
Right.
Those guys have, and they've been just as close as you multiple times as well. So there's, as they say, there's plenty of ways to skin a cat, right? It's tough. I understand what Kyle Shanahan believes and thinks, and I think he's a system guy for sure.
Right. It's just really interesting to me because also look crazy. Every other team in the league, they're not doing it Kyle's way. No. They're looking for that guy that can do everything.
Of course. Why who in the hell would turn down Peyton Manning coming up? You know what? Nah. I'm going to take Jimmy G. I'm going to take Jimmy G. And we go back to that. The 49ers looked at Peyton Manning. No, you know what? He's a little too old, whatever.
Yeah.
Peyton
was a Harbaugh thing.
Yeah, he was.
But Brady was a Shanahan thing. Yeah.
Matt Ryan. There are guys out there, but you'd rather go get Kirk Cousins. Someone who hasn't even been close to winning a championship. It's just, I hate to say it, because as a 49er fan, you defend Kyle Shanahan, Whitey, and we have to because it's a squad. But sometimes you got to just call a spade a spade.
He's probably got 3 years here to prove his point or else. Ooh. Yeah.
Even if they don't win a Super Bowl, let's just say they make the playoffs 3 years and they don't, you think he's.
Well, at some point you've got your guy now and he's there and you have to, your view is not the one that's most commonly held. So maybe you're just wrong.
Wow. That's
we'll
tough.
Find out.
Yeah. 3 years, you getting them 3?
Well, that's at that point, I think that's when they would have the ability to move off of Brock. We'll see. Things can happen there. Well, maybe it will extend it. But at some point you have to win one, don't you?
You 100% need to.
What the NBA doesn't want you to notice about the team still playing, and more on the NFL players joining the Olympics. Isn't this great? Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The coolest summer starts at Target with up to 50% off select Sun Squad pool and outdoor toys and 20% off select favorite day treats with Target Circle. Discover inflatable pools and outdoor toys that'll surely make a big splash this season, while you keep it cool and sweet with the most shareable cookies and frozen snacks under the sun. Hurry! Now through Memorial Day, save up to 50% on select Sun Squad toys and 20% on select favorite day treats with Target Circle, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list. Like this leaf blower! PayPal can pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal Checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
San Francisco!
What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Touchdown!
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, with second baseman Zach Geloff having spent the entire year on the IL, the A's offseason acquisition of Luis Urias as a free agent has turned out to be a shrewd move. As of the end of the last homestand, Urias had started 20 consecutive games at second base, hitting 4 home runs, including a walk-off against the White Sox, and his OPS almost .830. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
This Memorial Day, don't just make plans, drive them with Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event. The road's calling for you, your playlist, and your new ride. Right now, get a low-cost lease on a 2025 RAV4 or shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs like the Grand Highlander Hybrid, Land Cruiser, or the Toyota Crown Signia. Toyota's got the ride to match your summer vibe. Hurry into Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 6/2/25.
You drove the miles and your tires are done. Got to shop the best prices under the sun at Big O. Big O Tires.
Shop top brand tires with the lowest tire price guarantee and visit your locally owned Big O Tires. Now through May 26th, get $80 to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
All right, we got a few more details on Olympic flag football, which we'll get to real quick here with game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tipping off in 40 minutes or so. One thing I noticed about the remaining NBA teams, they all have something in common. They're all relatively healthy. You look at the teams that lost in the last round. The Warriors lost to Minnesota. They had, of course, the Steph injury, the Jimmy Butler injury. You look at the Knicks, they beat the Celtics, who had the Tatum injury. You look at OKC, they beat Denver. Aaron Gordon had that bad hamstring. And then Indiana beating Cleveland, and Cleveland had guys dropping like flies throughout the series. So fingers crossed. But I hope these teams are able to stay healthy the rest of the way. The NBA doesn't really want you to notice that, but it's been a trend over the last few years, and we can crunch some numbers when we get a chance. But there have been more and more injuries in the postseason in the NBA. It's a huge factor, and it's just unfortunate, Jay. I know that's the way it goes. Right. Unless you play fewer games, that's going to be the case. Even then, it might still be the case. But it's just unfortunate that that's played such a large role in the postseason.
Yeah, hoping that, as you earlier on talked about on your Whitey's wish list, I'm just hoping everybody stays healthy and we get the best ball that we possibly can. Everybody stays upright, and I'd be super interested. I'd rather be interested in watching full repertoire of players versus, right, one of those stars are gone. Or, we saw it with Steph Curry. That series just completely turned me off immediately because Steph is not there. It was over with.
Even last year, Indiana and the Knicks they didn't have their guys.
Brunson.
Yeah. Over the last 11 postseasons, an average of 5.7 All-Stars per year have missed games, more than doubling the average from the prior 24 postseasons. And since the late 80s, that has increased sevenfold, according to Howard Beck. So anyway, something to keep an eye on, and hopefully it won't be a factor. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's time for, guess what, Jay? Check it with TC. How are you, TC?
Yes, sir. Hey, Whitey, I'm good. Hey, Jay, what's up, man?
It's going down big time.
Hey, man, look. Hey, I'm vibing, man. Mic check. Check it out. Hey, listen. Hey, before we do get started, man, flag football is cool. Like, I think I told y'all before, man, me and Javier, man, we on the same team, man. We be getting down
flag
on
football?
the weekends. We'll fight, yeah.
Wow.
Man,
Wait.
Where do you play?
I said
Wait a
that,
minute. I ain't got it. What? Have you got an invitation yet, Whitey?
Nope.
Oh, man, it's a cold game in these streets.
Hey, you stupid. Hey, listen to invitation. We playing West Sac. Hey,
where
we
at?
playing the West
I ain't
Sac.
too far, man.
Come on, Jay. I got you. It's good. Don't
Okay,
even
I'm asking right now. Where you playing, T?
We at Bright Park.
Okay, what time? What days?
On Sundays, we usually play in the morning. Usually they be in the morning between some games start at like 8 from like 8 to 1 on Sundays.
Okay, I'm about to say 8 o'clock. You ain't gonna see the kid, but yeah.
I know. But look, our team usually be playing later in the day though. We usually be playing, I don't know, somewhere around like 11.
Yeah, because you're the TV game, prime time.
Are you in season right now?
I'm not in season right now.
So when's it start?
This season, it's finna start like closer than. Actually, we're gonna have a summer league that's gonna come up, bro, in like the next like month.
Okay, so when you call in, alert me, because I was gonna say now if I pull up the Bright Park this week and all I see is ducks, it's a cold game, right?
Or soccer players,
right?
Jay, I got you. When we get closer, I got you.
I appreciate it.
What do you play? Are you quarterback or what?
Nah, man, I play receiver. Listen, man, I rush and I play receiver and linebacker.
All right.
Okay.
Good for you. What do you got for us today? Yeah.
Hey, look, check it out. Hey, y'all know y'all was right up my wheelhouse with Kyle Shanahan. That's why we ain't gonna never win nothing, Niner fans. Just how that dude is thinking. I don't need the quarterback to do a lot. I'm the guy that's gonna tell a quarterback where to throw at. Well, Kyle, bro, that's why we haven't won nothing, bro. Period. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go into because everybody got their own feelings about this dude, bro. But Whitey, what he said explains it all. If you can't see that, bro, I don't know. We ain't gonna never win nothing with this dude, bro. That's all I got, Jay. I'm gonna let you know, Whitey. Get ready, man. Start working out, stretching. I'm gonna bring you out too.
I'm stretching right now.
I got you, Whitey.
Stretchy B.
Right.
I'm out, y'all.
Thanks.
That's what's
I
up,
want to go
man.
too. I want to see.
Yeah,
that.
we got to.
Yeah.
Support the community.
I've been to the park when guys are playing, and I don't know. I can't. You're doing something with a family or something. It's like, yeah. I gotta watch.
Why? Come on, man.
He hit him early. That's interference. Why did you run that play, you idiots? Guy was wide open. How did you miss him?
Man, okay. I didn't know we had some flag football guys a part of the drive guys, the show.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And Javi too.
I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
We have two Javiers.
Right.
So,
I think you're talking about Javi from Vacaville.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah,
too.
I would imagine. And I've seen Javi. I think Javi, I know, and hopefully I'm not telling Javier's business. I know, and hopefully it's good business. I know he is a coach for a high school football team. I won't say that because maybe he don't want me to put his business out in the street. But shouts out to Javier and TC getting it in.
Well, Javi and TC know this. You may know it too, but a little more on Olympic flag football. According to this piece, it's 5-on-5 with a quarterback, 3 receivers or backs, and a center who immediately is eligible as a receiver.
Okay.
So no need for a traditional offensive lineman. Defense has a single designated rusher. Sounds like TC does that sometimes. Who must be 7 yards behind the line at the snap. Quarterbacks cannot run with the ball.
Oh, man.
But they still need elusiveness to avoid sacks and extend plays.
Come on down, Dylan Gabriel, baby.
Yeah. This piece says the Olympic roster would include 10 players, which means no depth. But I believe you saw something.
Yeah, I was looking at the USA Football, and this was getting ready for this past year's World Championships. They had a 12-man roster, 12-athlete roster, because, of course, they have the women's division as well. So they had 12 out of 18. They had a pool of 18 players, and 12 were carried, and the other 6 were considered what am I trying to say? They were considered alternatives. Excuse me. Alternates.
Yeah, alternates. Pick any country. Doesn't matter. Any country in the world. Doesn't matter. Anyone.
Anything?
Any country.
Ireland. Let's go Ireland.
All right, let's say Ireland's playing against Team USA. Team USA has Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Jameer Gibbs.
Okay.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Center's Brock Bowers. And on defense, Ireland, when they got the ball, they're up against Micah Parsons, Pat Surtain, Travis Hunter, Kyle Hamilton, and Antoine Winfield Jr.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Just blow them out.
No Kayvon Thibodeau?
Just do your thing.
Uh-huh.
But, okay.
Sure and be Goran, we can't get a first down.
Okay.
We can't move the ball against them.
Whitey, here we go. Let's remove all the top tier, like you said, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, guys like that. Let's remove those guys.
Uh-huh.
You still wouldn't want to see C-tier players with names.
I just like a game, no matter who's playing, what countries, a game where it's like competitive. Like both teams have a chance. That's what I prefer.
So you don't like blowouts in anything.
I'd prefer not to.
So when you were playing, you didn't want the blowout. You want, what?
Playing, yes, but
you were saving points. You were saving points there, Whitey.
That's never been proven. Never actually been proven.
I'm just playing.
Yeah. But I want to see good matches.
Gotcha.
That's all.
So for entertainment,
I want to see a good football match in Ireland, USA.
Might be close, baby. You never know. The Shamrock, you never know. I
would be rooting for Ireland in that, by the way, because I'm part Irish.
As you should. You should absolutely be doing that. I just think if we had some C-tier college guys, big name college guys, or recently left the game, retired, maybe not retired, but recently left the game type athletes, I think that'd be fun.
It might be. Dang, Whitey, first we find out you're a Warriors fan. Now we find out you're a traitor to your own country.
Dang.
Wow.
All right, man. Slow down on my boy, Mr. Gleason.
We're all having fun here.
I got a 12-man roster coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Who I would like to see on this squad.
You don't have it by the bottom of the hour today?
No. Because it's too much pressure. Too much pressure. I want to do my research. I want to make sure I got a good, entertaining squad. I don't, because see, if I do it now, you can be like, nah. I got to put a little deep thought into this.
All right. And I am going to, tomorrow I have the top 12 players from Iceland.
Well, maybe you can find the top 12 players outside the U.S.
Yeah. I'll try to find some NFL players that might be able to play for other countries.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And when we come back, I kind of opened a can of worms there with Kyle Shanahan, didn't I?
You did.
That it was just, well, he did when he said that. Yeah. When we come back, what the crazy, chaotic NBA season means for the Kings going forward. And I'm sure Jay will have more on flag football. We got A's Talk 2 coming up with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
For 20 years since Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course opened near the banks of the Sacramento River, it's been Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf course architects designed the course to be an easy walk, but motorized carts are available as well. You and your friends will find Bartley Kavanaugh's Tap House restaurant offers great food, whether you play golf or not. Relax on the outdoor veranda overlooking the course with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up, or when you store. Start with Stable.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Today's big story, ESPN is really pushing this flag football. NFL players have been approved to play flag football in the Olympics. So we'll come back around to that. Now everybody's doing what you're doing, Jay. Everybody's coming up with their teams.
I took my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, ESPN Either pay homage or pay me.
Yeah. Orlovsky now's got his team. It's just, I'm a little surprised. They are really, you got that, of course, and you got the basketball game.
Look at the
which
team.
is going to tip off here in a little bit.
Orlovsky got Lamar Jackson as his QB. Jahmyr Gibbs is the running back. Justin Jefferson and Malik Neighbors. And then the center, we'll see, probably be like a tight end, as you said. That's too much. Micah Parsons is the center. All right. That's when you know you're just messing around.
Yeah.
Because Mike ain't catching no passes.
We know that, that Jay was wondering whether Justin Jefferson would play. That's one of the first names people have been thrown around. What about Justin Jefferson? And he was asked about it, Jay, and it sounds like he's interested in trying out.
Sounds like he's all in. I see you want to I was going to go ahead and just say come on to the roster, but Mr. Gleason,
Yeah.
I see where you're going here.
Yeah. He says it's like he's speechless. It'd be like a dream come true.
Yep.
All right. So we'll schedule a tryout.
Yeah.
Because we already have a national team. Let's be respectful of the guys who have helped grow this wonderful game.
Right.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. We appreciate your interest, but we'll see if we can arrange a tryout.
So who does he have to beat out?
I don't know. I was going to look that up, but you're right. I mean, all kidding aside.
Well, I mean, I have the roster here.
The guys currently on the team are probably not going to be too happy about this, are they? Although
they're not.
They had to see it coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And hence why we heard from, Hoosh last year, which is the
Hoosh
Doucette. Yeah, he's the Team USA current quarterback right now. He was the one that said he was going to be better than Pat Mahomes. I'm looking at, and literally, if I was just to read these names, you wouldn't even know any of these names. But I'm looking at the wide receivers. So we got Michael Pardue, DB wide receiver from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Hans Pardue, I call him.
Hans Pardue. Okay. We got Bruce Mapp.
Yeah.
Straight out of Philadelphia, PA.
They call him Mapp because he runs his route so precisely.
Crazy. Okay. I'm seeing where you're going.
Yeah.
Jesus Lorenzo from Miami, Florida. Yeah.
More of a possession guy.
Rusher, I think you're right. Rusher wide receiver. I think you're spot on. Jamie Kennedy, DB wide receiver out of Pompano Beach, Florida.
Talented, but I've always got issues with his attitude.
How about Jadion High?
He's good hands, not a real speed guy, but he's one of those guys like he runs faster on the field than he does when you're like timing them.
Okay. I give you one more because I think you're very familiar with this guy out of Riverside, California, Isaiah Calhoun.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's
okay.
Number one
DB
receiver.
wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's like Travis Hunter. Okay. All right. Now,
he's probably the best athlete on the team.
Now, does Justin Jefferson have any shot? Where are you putting him at amongst those?
We'll give him a tryout, Jay. Like I said, you're welcome to try out. There aren't going to be any promises just because you caught a few passes for the,
for the Vikings.
This is different. This is international competition.
It is. It is definitely different. Another level.
I know you had a couple nice little grabs and look at me. I scored a touchdown.
Do a couple little gritty dances and everything.
You are representing your country, sir.
You are. He's excited. He is excited. I think he's all in.
Yeah.
And the NFL, they're getting behind it. So, they're going to put a face or two on the squad for sure.
Yeah. I think we have our answer. I was curious, before we had this official news today, I knew that it might happen, that they were going to approve it at some point. I figured they probably would. That was what all indications were. And I wondered, were NFL players going to be excited? Well, we haven't heard from a lot, but the first guy you hear from is a huge star, and he says, I'm speechless. So I think we know how most players are going to feel about this.
Yeah. And it's probably just, and Justin talked about it a few, in different instances as I read some of the quotes, and there's a sound to it. It's really just about the fact of playing in the Olympics, competing in the Olympics. He said that 2 or 3 times. I never thought as a kid playing football, knowing that was my sport, I never thought I'd have a shot to compete in the Olympics and win a medal for my country. And I think that's why I said this year, you're probably going to see a bunch of names, come out and play for Team USA. And there's no doubt about it, Whitey. I do think the excitement will wear off a little bit, and we'll probably start to see some of the guys like Justin Jefferson and Micah Parsons and guys who've already said, like, I would love to be a part of it. They'll probably come down to, like, I'm good. I'm all right.
I can guarantee you what the number one question will be from people in other countries who watch this sport for the first time.
What you got?
They watch flag football, right? The number one question will be, why in the world do they call it football? I don't believe there's any kicking in flag football, is there?
I don't think so.
None whatsoever. So they're going to be
where's
like,
TC when you need him?
Yeah. Why is this called football?
Whitey, I think you're doing a disservice to the 120 countries around the world who already compete in the sport.
I don't think so. I'm talking about people like, what is football? I'll watch some of it. This isn't football. They're not using their feet. I must be watching the wrong sport.
I'll just say this. If breakdancing could get some love, I'm pretty sure flag football will get it. If not the same or more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will make TC's team before Justin Jefferson makes Team USA.
Just like Jay said, if Reagan can get some love in the Olympics, we need flag football love.
You think we should call up TC and Javier and see, do they have to try? Would you have to try out for their squad, or could you just jump on out?
No, I'd have to try out. That's only fair. That's a good team. They got.
Yeah, but
they got
why do you a walking legend, man? Why do you have to try out?
I think it'd just be fair.
To who?
To the guys who are going to lose their spot because of me.
Well, there it is. So that's why I said I don't necessarily think you need to try out. If nothing else, you should already be on the roster, and everybody else should be talking about alternative.
I like to go through the proper channels. Yeah, you don't.
Okay,
you
right.
ruffle fewer feathers that way.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is
if
true.
I'm just on the team, it's like, why is that guy on the team? If I try out, everyone's like, man, I quit. He's better.
Okay, I got you. I like it. Where do you think you play better? Are you a rusher, center? You a linebacker, or you QB?
You ever seen the old volleyball where guys you rotate positions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
move
me
around.
because I'm so good at all of it.
Okay.
But
I don't think they do that in flag football.
Well,
Why do you?
They should. If I'm on the team, I'll be left end, and I'll be center, right end, quarterback. When they have the ball, I'm rushing this time. I'm covering that guy. I'm covering that guy. It doesn't matter, guys.
Oh, man.
I'm that good.
We got to go out.
All right.
It's time to go out, brother.
Hey, change his nickname from Whitey to Jack, because he's going to be the Jack of all trades on that flag football team.
Stretchy
B in the building.
No doubt Stretchy B is the man out there on the field. That much I can attest to.
Can I ask you a basketball question when we come right back?
Sure.
And then we'll get back to the big news of the day. Olympic flag football is coming with NFL players. That and more next with The Drive, guys. We'll be right back.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
It's official now, as you probably heard. The NFL has approved its players to play, NFL players to play in the Olympics 2028 LA flag football. And so we've been wondering, well, what does that mean for the guys who are currently on the team? Are any of them going to still be on the team? There's probably going to be, don't you think, Jay, NFL players? There'll be so many guys that want to play. Some of them won't be able to play because there's only, 12 guys on the team?
So it looks like 12.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be more guys than that want to be on the team.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, 100%. You made a great point. There are going to be some superstars who probably won't make this Team USA team. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. And I really think it's just
that is bad news for Micronesia in the first round.
Well, this is the thing, Whitey. I'm pretty sure as the number one ranked team in the world, Team USA probably won't have to qualify for the Olympics. They're probably already qualified. So they're just sitting back waiting for the Olympic Games. Now, everybody who makes the Olympics, as you say, depending on what pool play and things like that, it's going to be some bad scores. It's going to be some
I think so.
100 to 20, you know?
And what can you do? Well, put the second stringers in. We only have 12 guys. We can't really. What do you do?
You know what? As you said, call Garrett Wilson to come in. He's the bench guy on our squad. Man, I just would like to see it one time. I totally understand where you're coming from. And I'll say this too, Whitey. It definitely pains me to see Team USA, the current roster, how they are equipped right now, because honestly, all those people, they're not going to make the team, unfortunately.
Right.
They're definitely not going to be on that Olympic team because it's going to be packed jam with superstars and names.
All applying for Canadian citizenship as we speak.
Yeah, you better believe it. You better go to any country you possibly can. But I'd like to see it one time. And sure, it's probably going to be an absolute blowout. Then we can adjust it. And as we've seen with breakdancing, they've already removed it. It may be one of those things where it's like, okay, nah, this isn't a good vibe. This isn't a good sport to continue in the Olympics. We'll just pull it. And then it could be like, hey, listen, I was part of the only flag football team, from NFL stars ever. Like those things are interesting. Those things are what we talk about every single day.
It also bothers me, being honest, some of this we're kidding around.
Sure, of course.
But baseball was taken out. I don't think it's coming back. I'll have to double check. They took baseball out of the Olympics, baseball and softball.
Right.
And you're going to have flag football? To me, that's like, nah, that ain't right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I recognize that you have to go through some of these, let's just call them growing pains. You're trying to grow the sport. The NFL desperately wants to grow flag football because they recognize that American football, such as it is, it's never going to be popular around the world.
Right.
But flag football might be.
Yeah,
I get that. I understand that.
It's less expensive to play.
Yeah.
We're talking about pads and so many different things when you're talking about, tackle football. And we know the dynamic of what's going on in society. You look at some of the third world countries or countries who don't technically can afford certain things. Yeah, it's you'll never be able to field a team of 53 guys and have 17 different teams throughout the country. It's just inevitable. It's not going to happen. So flag football, 7, 10, 12 guys, 7, 10, 12 young ladies. Yeah, we can find our top 10 people. I'm interested. I really am.
Yeah.
I very much am interested in what's going to happen, how it's going to look. I'm with you when it comes to baseball. We got to bring that back, and softball. Yeah, there's no reason that's not an Olympics.
Yeah. I think, Jay, if you went back to 2011 when we had Bountygate and the movie coming out about concussions and all the reports and books about concussions and how the NFL knew more about how damaging this all was than they let on. You would go back to that period and how frightened the NFL was at that time of everything collapsing. I think if you told them then where they'd be in 2025, I think that has said, oh, that's such a relief.
I agree.
The NFL is still in a golden spot. They didn't know if they would be. But I think they recognize also, we don't know, one catastrophic thing here or there could change everything. And I think they recognize flag football might actually be the future of football.
Ooh.
And they're just like hedging their bets. At least internationally.
Yeah, that's interesting, Whitey, because you've been on Earth longer than I have, and that's no disrespect. That is something that I aspire to be where you're at.
It'll be a while.
Well, it's all right. It's okay. We got time, brother. We all got time. Take me back to when, let's just say you're in your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to say that very statement that you just said right now, would you even have fathomed that football could even?
No, that would have been laughable.
Okay.
Back then when people said, I remember doing an interview on this station in around 2000. There was a guy, I don't remember his name, but he was an advocate for safer football. And he was saying, football is dangerous. You don't understand all the injuries. We laughed at the guy. We made fun of him.
Wow.
And he was right about a lot of things.
Sure.
And there's a lot of parents now, a lot more than there used to be. Parents are like, my kids are not going to play football. There's always been parents that said that. There's a lot more now. So I think the NFL just recognizes this, and flag football, I think, is one kind of insurance policy against that. That's
hedging
my
their
belief.
bet just a bit.
I think so.
Wow.
It's going to grow. It's easier to grow flag football around the globe than it is to grow, American football, which is just a brutal sport.
It is. It's
You
a gladiator
played it.
sport.
A lot of people played it, and that's one of the things that makes it, frankly, fun. But
Smack somebody.
The higher you get, the more dangerous it gets.
Absolutely, especially with the technology and some of these athletes. Sometimes you see them, Whitey. Sometimes you see some of these football players. You're like, good man.
Yeah.
You're hitting who?
Mm-hmm.
Don't hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, nah, I ain't trying to be hit by you.
Yeah.
I can't, if I'm looking at the future, Whitey, and that's why I asked you, put yourself back when you were 20 years old. And I know that's hard to do for you. I get it. But if you were to really take yourself
I can't
back,
remember where my car's parked, let alone 20 years
let me
ago.
help you. Let me get the GPS out for you. Matter of fact, you got the life alert over there. If you, it's hard for me to look that far in advance when it comes to football. I'm not sure I'll see it. I really not. But we know things change on a dime, and you make a great point. I remember being at a national network at the time, the CTE, I won't say scandal, but it was just a huge
controversy
topic. Yeah, it's huge.
There were elements of the scandal
every single day.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. I mean, our general manager and PDs and stuff was like, this is what we're talking about. And you need to go get 18 different people to talk about this.
And you tell me if I'm wrong, but I remember it was not a lot of fun to talk about.
It was not. It was hard.
For a lot of people, it was like, I don't want to talk about this.
Very
now.
hard.
Yeah.
Super, super difficult. I have a
dirty truth.
Yeah. Friends of the Sayal family. And my grandmother, super tied to Sayal family. And I remember her when Junior was no longer with us. I remember some of the things that seeing his family go through and some of the things, the difficult conversations that they were having amongst, lending them out to science, but at the same time grieving, but also kind of having an understanding like we saw this was coming down the pipe and we were trying to stop some of this, but we couldn't. It was very interesting to be a part of, and I say interesting might not be the proper word because it was definitely sad.
Yeah.
It was definitely sad to see.
Because the ship had already sailed
absolutely.
by the time you realize it, and the ship ain't coming back.
Right. And so it's when you're entrenched in that type of conversation or you are affected by something like that. And again, the Sayal family is my extended family. It's difficult. And so to see, hey, listen, we might be able to put flag football up on a pedestal and push this, and this may be the next big thing. That's why I'm interested, because I would love to see the NFL, and it looks like that, they might get behind that. And of course, that's just one part of the, story. Of course, I want to see the entertainment part of it too. But, as we peel back this onion, that can play a bigger role in when it, what the whole movement of flag football.
Most likely you will have NFL football and you'll have flag football, and flag football will grow in popularity. I'm not saying that's going to replace the NFL ever, but I think owners recognize, we have it in case that whole thing did fall apart because of something terrible happening or the lawsuits became, too onerous for us. Then they would have a brand of football. It could be the future of football. I doubt that it is, but it might be. And I think in 2011, more people were saying, oh, yeah, definitely. But the NFL's done, I don't know what, they've done well.
Yeah,
they've done well since then. I'll say that. Yeah.
And they have definitely fixed the appearance of what was happening during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. I will say this. I think it may be the future of adolescent football.
Yeah.
Youth football.
Yeah. Schools. And
absolutely. Yeah.
Also,
I
there's so many
see
schools that don't have enough players to field the team now.
Right. And we're seeing that. We've seen 7-on-7 football. That's something that is now being played in the state in California. We had Joe Davison on. He talked about that. I've seen it a couple times in Texas, watching certain things on YouTube and all of that. That's a big deal.
Didn't the Cowboys draft a linebacker a few
years ago? 7-on-7.
Yeah.
It's a movement, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to jump on board with this now. You got to get excited about Team USA 28, baby.
I'm excited. I'm just rooting for Germany.
Okay, no problem. No problem. You got to get on. So you're good with the NFL players playing?
Yes.
Even though it might just be
back now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's all, if they're excited about it, then Give them that opportunity, and it's all part of the growing pains of growing this sport. I do love, and I've always loved, touch/flag football.
That a boy.
Always.
See, I knew we could win you over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got. No, you see, you're a sports guy. You got your eyes on the prize at all points in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When we come back, I'm going to ask you a question about the Kings, Jay. I'm going to ask you to rank the Kings players in terms of tradability. Who's the most tradable Kings players? Next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. A comfortable start Wednesday, but it'll warm up fast again. Morning temperatures will be in the mid-50s, afternoon highs in the mid-90s with strong sunshine. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
Fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This Memorial Day, forget the lawn chair. Roll up with horsepower instead, because Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event is on. So you can gear up, gas up, and go with great deals. Score a low-cost lease on a 2025 Tacoma, or low financing, or an incredible $3,000 cash back on a 2025 Tundra. Plus, check out the all-new 2025 4Runner. Head to Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event today. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers. End 6/2/25.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Getting ready for game one of the Western Conference Finals. Interesting piece today from Howard Beck in The Ringer about how crazy this year in the NBA has been. He calls this the NBA's age of chaos. But look at all the things that, as a fan, you went through this year. Not just talking about here. It wasn't just here this year. And we know around here, wow, some crazy things happened. But with the Luka trade, with teams coming from behind in ways they never have before, you look at the injuries this year, you look at what happened to home court. It's just different than it used to be in the NBA. There's more parity now. We talk about it. We're going to have a different champion for the 7th straight year. So the whole thing, the whole landscape of the NBA is changing. And Ryan McDonough, former Suns general manager, says the job, talking about being a GM, the job is harder than it's ever been. And it's against that backdrop. And in that environment that Scott Perry and the Kings are trying to figure this all out, Jay.
That's interesting. It's harder than it has ever been.
That's what he says. Yes,
wow.
yes.
Did he say reason why? Did he put any substance behind that?
Just talking about all of the way things have changed.
Got you. Mm-hmm. Just cap and player movement and friendship.
Exactly. I didn't
and
even mention all that, but you're right. The CBA and how hard it is to keep teams together now and teams going through their cycles of competitiveness a lot quicker. Just different.
Stars want to play with stars.
Yeah. I know today you had Mike Greenberg on ESPN. He has said, RIP super teams. He says super teams are dead now.
I can see that until they change the CBA again in another 10 years.
Yeah. Or if you just are able to draft, super team is just really good players. Like, I think there's a chance OKC could be a super team. Boston last year was pretty close to a super team.
Yeah, they were.
But they didn't just go out and get a bunch of free agents, actually drafted well.
Yeah, they definitely did. I'm with you. I think OKC has an has a shot to be a super team. They got a gluttony of young talent, gluttony of young talent. Man.
But the super team of, hey, Jay, you're a free agent. Ramsey's a free agent. I'm a free agent. Let's all go play for the Nets.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because of this new CBA, as I said, however long that is, and forgive me for not knowing, I think it's 8 years, but after that, they'll rehuddle, and figure out the new CBA. And just as we've seen 2-3 CBAs ago, they'll probably open it up, and it may not be the next CBA. It may be 2 CBAs down the line, but we'll bring it back to the point to where, hey, listen, you'll have 3 or 4 all-star superstars together because it's inevitable. The NBA wants that. They want parity is good because, as we had Rick Camelo talk about, there's been a lot of teams over the last 25, 30 years prior to this 7-year run where the same team was repeating or the same 6, 7 organizations. So they needed this. They needed parity, the NBA. You're giving hope to Milwaukee. You're giving hope to Sacramento.
Like
you're giving hope
Toronto.
to Toronto. Exactly.
Denver.
Those type of teams. Milwaukee, compared to Lakers, Celtics, Spurs, Warriors, Chicago, the same old.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, there is something to be said for having those great teams and brands that are, competing every year. Maybe they're not in the finals every year, but, in college now there's fewer, it's less frequent where you have some of the blue blood schools that are playing, for the championship. And it's kind of cool when they did. It just felt traditional. And I appreciate now that there is upheaval in different teams, but at some point fans may clamor like, hey, we need great teams again.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, but it's just something down the road. I wonder if the NBA is going to have to
I think so, Whitey. I think it's inevitable. The NBA is led by stars. And as much as, we love the Keon Ellis's of the world, love him, absolutely love him. He's not a star as of yet. Now, he may turn into one. He's not a star. And unfortunately, we see it in all different walks of sports, hobbies and trading cards. Keon Ellis is hot for a quick minute, but guess what? Giannis is going to be hot forever.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And I just use that as an example. It's just one of those things. People aren't clamoring and sliding a Foot Locker and hunting down, Keon Ellis kicks. They're looking for Kobe kicks. It's just what it is.
Yeah. That's the other thing this offseason. I mean, how crazy is this offseason? You got Kevin Durant. Giannis could be on the move. I mean, that's insane.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
And that's just kind of the nature of the beast now. So
as the Sacramento, baby.
Kings look at all this and try to figure out where to go. And obviously there's a lot that has to happen before they even know what their options are. How would you rank Kings players right now in terms of tradability? I'm not saying you want to trade them, but just who are the most tradable players on the roster?
Man.
Who could you who's the most tradable player? Would it be Malik? Would it be Keegan? Would it be Domas? Just in terms of a guy that if you were to call around, hey, we're offering so-and-so, who's going to get the most response?
The most response, not so much as the most back. I think it's Keegan.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think Keegan's the guy. You pick up the phone, you send out a memo, you go old school and send out a fax to the NBA.
Sure.
Yeah, send it to everybody.
Yeah.
I think Keegan's the one that's like, oh, okay, let me see what you got.
I'm just going plain white envelope. I'm just sending them out. Snail mail.
Okay. Pony Express.
Yeah. I'm with you. And then I think Domas would be second.
It would be for me too. I think Domas is number 2. There's a lot of people who are putting the kibosh, the squeeze on Domas's, trade value. I don't see it like everybody else. I think dude is a baller.
Do you think if you wanted to, if the rumors are true about what's not really a rumor, it's speculation. If Philly was looking at like, we'll trade the 3 and Paul George for something. Do you think if you went to them and said, what about Domas? Do you think they'd be interested?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. Yeah, because guess what?
I think so too.
Ty Maxey is great for Domas. He's a Halliburton guy. He's going to shoot it, but the one thing he's going to do is he's going to do a lot of the handling, pick and roll, dribble handoff. I think it's perfect for sure. And you just don't know what you're getting from the big fella.
Yeah,
and
the big fella does like to
stretch it.
Yeah, and so he could play with Domas, and then if the big fella's not there, Domas is always there.
He's always there.
Yeah. So again, we're not saying, you need to trade these guys. Just trying to get an idea what kind of leverage you would have. I think Malik has a lot of
for me, he's
value.
3. He's 3. I think we're working right down the line. We're going hand in hand here.
I was just going to say, just speaking of Domas, I think a lot of us in Sacramento underrate what his value is, not just in Sacramento but around the league. Because I think there'd be a bevy of teams. If they knew he was on the market, they're calling Scott Perry, B.J. Armstrong, or whoever it is with the quickness to try to obtain him.
Yeah, you could be right. I would think that his contract would be a little bit of a deterrent.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But I kind of tend to side where you're going, Ramsey. I think he has a bigger market than a lot of Kings fans are, pinpointing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Other than that,
could be wrong.
Yeah. I don't think
Levine's 4 for me.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think he'd be hard to trade just because of the contract.
I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't see it. And I could be blinded, but I don't see it.
He makes a lot of
money.
money.
Actually, I'm sorry, DeMar's 4. DeMar
all right. Okay.
My apologies. DeMar's 4. Because DeMar's on a way friendlier deal, as
definitely
NBA people like to say. The deal is friendlier.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you were what kind of voice is that again?
Well, one thing about sports, man, and I get it. I'm part of it. I understand. I have a tough time, and I'll admit, I am who I am, right? And I use language that I use, verbiage that I use, diction that I use. Sometimes there's a struggle because you have to use terms that people pay attention to in what we do. Where if we're just sitting here talking, and obviously you can attest to this, I'm going to say a little different when the mic goes off.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I get tired of, hearing the typical quick twitch muscle. Man, dude is just hella fast. How about that?
The one that drives me absolutely crazy is when people are talking about football and the blitz, and they say, well, he dialed up a blitz. The coordinator dialed up a blitz. Huh?
Right.
I meon, they always say it. Like,
right.
Is there any other way to call a blitz other than
rotary phone?
I need a blitz.
And no lie, I had a rotary phone in my house for years, so I know that sound quite well.
And people will say it because they think it makes them sound like football smart. Yeah, he dialed up a blitz there.
Right.
They call a blitz. What,
You're right. My bad, Whitey. I was just, I was on my Draper for a minute. I was just looking around like, why we always got to say certain terms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just me.
I try to avoid the ones that everyone else uses and try to say things in other ways just so you're not using it as a crutch. I don't know that I always succeed, but I try.
My bad. I hijacked it. Go ahead, Whitey. Continue, please, sir.
No, that's all right. I was just wondering because you did like an announcer voice. Like, yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Keegan, Domas, the most tradable Kings. Again, we're not saying get rid of these guys. We're just trying to evaluate.
Yes.
What do we have here that people would want? Keegan, Domas, Malik, DeMar. I'm with you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I put Zach and I think about this, this may surprise you. You got a 5?
I really don't off the top of my head. You got a lot of free agents.
Let me give you one.
I mean, I might say Devin Clark.
Bing, bing, bing,
there
bing.
we go. All right.
That was my 5. I think Devin, as we talked about a little earlier, and go back, listen to the podcast, Sac Sports 1140. We don't know what he is. And when you don't know when you can't evaluate something and you have coaches, coaches, front offices, you have draft scouts, and it's still a little bit of a mystery. To me, that's value because I don't really know what to put. Is it worth $100? Is it $250? And you just kind of got to get what you can get. Somebody told me this a long time ago. You're worth what a person will pay you.
Yep.
And so I put that in the NBA terms. I think Devin, who's a first round draft pick, a lottery guy, I think if you went around to the NBA, it sounds crazy because here we go with Kings fans. We got to see a half of a season. We got to see him not succeed in a lot of different ways. But we know that's one of our gripes here in Sacramento. There's a lot of people not paying attention to the Kings. I think Devin has a decent little value.
I think he has a chance to be a really solid pro
I
for
think
a long
so too.
time.
And you know what travels? Defense, tenacity, aggressiveness.
Right.
I think he has all of that.
Jump shot. I've seen bus crashes that were prettier.
Okay.
But
wait a minute.
It is a little, it's just like,
and for me, just
has success with it.
And for me, just to co-sign what Jay was saying, 2 words: he's untapped. Devin Carter's untapped potential.
He is.
We don't know what it is just yet.
Yeah.
It's there. we're hoping for it, but with his unfortunate injury that took until January, we didn't have a chance to see his full potential just yet, so it's been untapped.
Right. That's why people, they see Devin and they see Keegan and Keon as maybe a core. And I know Drapes was saying, if that's your core, you're in bad shape. True, but people see them not as like build around those guys, but they feel like those are our guys, and they do defend. And we brought them in ourselves. We drafted them, or in Keon's place, signed them. So I think Kings fans feel a special connection to those guys.
Yeah, and I was thinking of Keon, and I was like, is he or Devin Carter the guy? I just go with Devin because he is, on paper, it looks better. Oh, he's a lottery pick. Oh, he's Anthony Carter's son. Oh, he was hurt a lot. Oh, and you know how it is. We see it with quarterbacks in the NFL. That coach don't know what he's doing. Bring him on over here. Watch me get busy. Bring him on over to Miami and watch how we do this. Bring him on over here to New York and let Tibbs get a hold of him, and we'll see him succeed, and do a little bit better in Sacramento. So I think Keon has a lot more, as they say, tape. They have a lot more film on Keon. Keon's a baller, but it's kind of that Brock Purdy. He came from out of nowhere, where Devin Carter was anointed a lottery pick. So that's why I went with Devin Carter over Keon.
Keegan, Domas, the most tradable Kings, Malik, DeMar, and Devin Carter. I think we're in lockstep on that.
Okay,
right?
There we go, baby. It's a marriage.
Yeah.
We're on point.
Don't know if any of them will be traded, but you could get some for those guys when
Is
we come
Keon
back.
next? Or is the Levine?
I think Valanciunas by
JV.
Yeah.
JV's got that friendly contract. That's why he's extremely tradable.
You know why I didn't say JV, fellas? Because I don't want to trade him.
Facts. I don't either.
My bad.
That's why I
and
didn't
I don't want
say
to trade none of those guys. Is not my job. But JV is. I want him to be a King.
Yes.
I truly.
That's why we'll leave it there. We'll stop at 5. And when we come back, ready to take on Ramsey?
Sure.
Yeah. The Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz is next. Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA through Weather Center. A comfortable start Wednesday, but it'll warm up fast again. Morning temperatures will be in the mid-50s, afternoon highs in the mid-90s with strong sunshine. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Lowe's knows how to bring the heat with Memorial Day savings. Right now, select paint, primer, and stains, or buy one, get one 50% off via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets for just $20. Shop these Memorial Day deals before they're gone. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Annuals offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
San Francisco!
What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for May the 20th, brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Jay, you're taking on Ramsey today.
All right, sir. All right.
I don't know who our reigning champ would be. I know Ramsey had been playing well, but I don't know if he ever actually went head-to-head with you during his hot streak.
No, but I mean, I've been the reigning champ.
Okay.
But, there's fill-ins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But when the champ comes back, you know how that happens.
All right. So you're up first, Jay. We have a lot of closest twos today and things of that nature. But I'll tell you, here's what you have to choose from. We have this date, what year in MLB? 1919, 1995, 1999, 2000, and 2019. This date, what year MLB? 1919, 95, 99, 2000, 2019.
Let's go 1919.
1919, and it is the closest to.
Of course. Christy Matheson.
Black Top Scandal.
You guys are both right, and we move on to the next one. No. So you want him to start?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, Ramsey. This date, 1919, Babe Ruth hit the first of his 16 career Grand Slams. Alex Rodriguez holds the record for most career Grand Slams. With how many? This date, 1919, Babe Ruth hit his 16th Grand Slam. The record for career Grand Slams is held by Alex Rodriguez, who hit how many in his illustrious career?
I'm going to go with 23.
23.
It's more than that. It's in the 30s, so I'm going to say 24.
The answer is 25.
Oh,
25.
Snuck it out.
Very close.
That was a good quiz. That was a good guess.
Yeah.
I actually was going to say 24. No BS. I was going to say 24.
Well done, Jay, with a point. Well done, Ramsey. You were right there. And Ramsey, you're up. This day, what year? MLB, 1995, 1999, 2000, 2019.
I'm going to go with my high school graduation year of 1999.
1999. It's multiple choice.
Chipper Jones.
Another Grand Slam deal here. 1999. Who becomes the first player to hit Grand Slam home runs in both games of a doubleheader? The first player to hit Grand Slam home runs in both ends of a doubleheader. This date, 1999. Robin Ventura, King Griffey Jr., Manny Ramirez. 1-0 here. Jay off to the early lead. Ramsey's turn here. Multiple choice.
I'm going with Robin Ventura.
That is correct. Wow.
Who did he do that for? The White Sox?
I think he did the Mets.
Yeah, it was the Mets.
Yeah. 1-1 ball game. Back to you, Jay. This day, what year in MLB? 1995, 2000, 2019.
1995.
1995.
Lionel the Shields.
It's the closest, too.
All right, let Ramsey go.
Didn't he get traded for Pedro Martinez?
I have no clue. I like the Lionel.
It
sounds about right. From
Montreal?
Montreal?
Tommy Lasorda traded Pedro Martinez.
To the Dodgers?
Yeah. Or Tommy Lasorda traded Delano Shields for... No. Anyway. He traded Delano Shields for Pedro Martinez. No, that's wrong. He traded Pedro Martinez.
Closest to. Who got traded to Pedro Martinez?
All right.
Pedro.
So Ramsey, 95, you said, right, Jay?
Yes, sir.
The Rockets win at Phoenix 115-114. They take Game 7 of their Western semifinal series. That broke a streak of how many consecutive Game 7 wins by the home team in the NBA playoffs?
Ooh.
So the home team had won Game 7 in the NBA playoffs how many times in a row before the Rockets broke that streak this date, 1995, with a win in Phoenix?
I'm gonna go with lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13, over to Jay.
95. So if I went back.
Yeah. Rockets beat Phoenix Game 7 this day, 95 in Phoenix, breaking a streak of how many consecutive Game 7 wins by the home team in the NBA playoffs? Ramsey says 13.
2?
Jay thinking it over?
Yeah,
Trying to get
it's
closest?
less than that because I feel like the Celtics and Lakers beat each other. Is it in the Western Conference or just in the playoffs?
NBA playoffs.
Okay. I'm going to say 12.
The answer is 20.
Dang.
20 times.
Really?
Yeah, there was a time when home court meant something.
Wow.
Especially in a Game 7.
Yeah,
Ramsey steals that point. Ramsey, you're up 2-1, and you're up here. This day, what year in MLB? 2000 and 2019.
This day, what year MLB, please?
This day, what year in MLB? You get to hear this, then you can guess, or you can let Jay guess first. It's up to you. This day, what year in MLB? Roger Clemens earns the first pitching win of his career.
I'll defer.
Jay, this day, what year? Roger, the Rocky Clemens earns the first pitching win of his career. This day, what year?
84.
He's got it.
Okay.
Stolen. Yeah, that's correct. And it's
Rookie
2
year, baby.
to 2.
I got my Emron on that one. I looked at the baseball card. It's like, yeah, it was 84.
I remember his pictures. Like Roger Clemens.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're up now, Jay. 2-2. We got 2000 and 2019 left on the board. Buddy's way back machine.
Let's go Y2K, baby.
What a match.
Yeah, Y2K.
It's multiple choice.
All right. That's Mookie Blaylock.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
This day, 2000, Ricky Henderson becomes just the third player, along with Ted Williams and Willie McCovey, to homer in 4 different decades.
Right.
He did it as a member of what team? The A's, the Padres, the Mariners. Ricky Henderson, this day 2000, becoming just the third player along with Ted Williams and Willie McCovey to homer in 4 different decades. He did it as a member of what team? He did it 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, of course.
Damn. You threw. There was 3 teams that I thought about. You put 2 in.
He played for a lot of teams towards the end of his career.
He did. I'm going to say the Padres.
Padres is not correct. Leaving the door open for Ramsey.
Damn.
What do you think, Ramsey? This date, 2000, Ricky becomes the third player along with Ted Williams, Willie McCovey to homer in 4 different decades as a member of what team? The A's or the Mariners? Jay went Padres.
Damn.
I'm going to go Mariners.
He's got it.
That's right. Yeah,
Seattle Mariners
it was
is
only
correct.
one of them 2, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Padres, the Mariners, or the Red Sox. No, why I thought of the
He was with them at the very end. I think
Yeah.
right before that, I
Mets.
think he was at the Mets,
Yeah,
and I
he was
think
with the
they
Mets at the
released
end.
him.
He was with the Dodgers late in his career, too.
Yeah, he
Yes,
was.
yes. So it's 3-2, and Ramsey, you're up, and you could clinch it here, or Jay could force the overtime. 2019, it's the closest 2. You want to go first? You want?
I'll defer.
All right. Here you go, Jay.
Here we go.
This day, 2019, Warriors beat Portland to clinch their 5th consecutive trip to the NBA Finals.
Yep.
The Celtics hold the all-time record by going to the NBA Finals how many years in a row? Going to the NBA Finals how many years in a row? The Celtics all-time record, how many years? Ramsey with a 3-2 lead. Clock winding down. Jay trying to force the overtime.
9.
9? What say you, Ramsey? For the
10.
win? The answer is 10.
What did I miscount?
I think 57 to 67, they were in the finals every stinking year.
Oh, I thought they lost one, then went back, then lost.
Very close.
Man.
Very close. Ramsey with a win.
Damn, man.
Well played.
And in my mind, I thought 11. I thought
No,
11.
they won 11 times, but I
Yeah.
remember there was 1 or 2 stops there that they.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was a good match.
I still got the Mariners. It was Mariners Padres. That killed me. That killed me.
Maybe you'll have a shot at him again tomorrow, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being with us. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Stick around. We got Infinity Sports Radio next on Sacktown Sports.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.